I just have my cell phone and shit, you know. Like, so to me, when you does the inspiring programming for the children, what is it that inspires you to get the children inspired to play these sports? Explain that to me, Tyree. Explain that to me, sir. I can do my shit in a little bit too, you know. But here, you know, we live. We're just gonna go because it takes people a second to realize.
Oh, we actually live.
Oh, we live. It's like,
you know, out here playing with cats.
Hey, dog, the cats be a part of the show and shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like it's funny that they pop up like this, but it is what it is and stuff. But we are live. We are here. So let me get into the whole introduction thing. You know, the whole 1, 2, 1, 2. Let people gather in, pack a lunch, do all that good shit. But what up, ladies and gentlemen, slimes and dimes, my couch gang, my hip-hop crimies and crimettes. Welcome back to the couch. It's your man Bito back with another, not a reaction, but with this first episode of a podcast here. This is the BCPP, you know what I'm saying, BITO'S conversation, or damn, we messing that up real early there, huh? That's crazy. But basically, it's the Couch Potato Podcast, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is right now. It's a Couch Potato Podcast. You know what I mean? We sent it earlier. We rolling it out. This is the, what do you call it? The pilot right now. It's the pilot of the shit. And as always, I bring my man T here, dog. And we were bringing him here to talk about what he's got going on for the youth and how he's providing, just an extra outlet in sports and just being a mentor for these children out here, for these children. And this is my man T. You recognize him from my past reactions over the summer when I first started the channel. We did, I believe, some Slim Shady reactions. I put them on the Easy Mail. And we go deeper than that too. We go a little deeper than reactions and podcasts. Like I think I've known you for about 20 years now. It feels like at this point. Like,
I was just put a number on him. Like,
you gotta put the football number on it. Gotta do that. You gotta do the football number. So, I think I've known Tariq since like 2005-ish or whatever. Like we've been in high school together. We played on, a lot of basketball teams together from high school on. Like we've just grown to just really know each other really well at this point. It's kind of funny. Yeah, been through a lot in life, man. And it's like one of those, we were 2 years apart, but we've always just had a lot in common, which was the sports and the music, you know what I'm saying? And you can't put an age on that at the end of the day. Maturity is just maturity at the end of the day. This is one of the homies that actually matured, you know what I'm saying? I don't really do the younger gen and the young cats. Y'all know I be on the channel talking about that, but I don't consider him a young gen, new gen type of cat. He's just younger than me by 2 years, and like that's all that matters. But some people in his age brackets be wilding and stuff, so I'm not gonna lie.
You need positive energy on the pod.
Yeah, you need positive energy on the pod. Positive spaces and everything. And speaking of positive spaces, my man does positive things for the youth. Now, his program is called see, I'm bad at this already. Like I listen.
It's fairly new, so I ain't mad at you.
Here we go. I got it going right now. We got the Instagram. It's inspire one focus and effort. You know what I mean? So as I say that, now tell the people out here, exactly what that means and what the motto is and everything. Just explain that a little bit.
So now for me, Inspire One was just built off the thought process of like me inspiring just one person, because that's where it started off. Like, one person trusted me to help them with their development, and then that went off to learn how to help more people. And then not to get all dark about it, but if my mission ended today, at least I know I kind of imparted some wisdom on folk that they can go inspire folk, just like I did. Right. Just one of them. So it's like could inspire one person to go off and keep your message alive. So that's where Inspire One came from. And then focus and effort. I just was thinking about different things that I want the whole program to be built on. And focus and effort to me are only things that we can control. You can control what you focus on and what you put your time into. Control how much effort you put into those things also. But other than that, and there's other things too, but other than that, there's really not much within our control. You just gotta keep locking in and keep doing what you're doing and stay passionate about it. Consistency. But again, focus and effort just are the two key things that capture all of that. So that's where that came from.
And I like that you put that in perspective like that, because once again, I think sports and also, as you know, I do music over here too, and I just like to, react to music. And I think those always intertwine with each other. And it's just interesting to hear you say that, it's the focus piece, because once again, I feel like people need to put that focus together when they need to just, be inspired. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to just, getting out of a dark space, getting into a positive space, being around positive energy. So did you find that within just being, because once again I mentioned that we did sports, so playing sports, did you find something to do within sports when you found that, or was it just post sports? Like, what made you come up with the idea?
Nah, be real, like so many things, but some of them you don't got time enough. You know, depending on the shit. But let me real, like, honest, well, so during quarantine, I started studying, like, trying to build on my training craft. And I was like, I have to find a different way to help the people that I work with. So it's like, you know, yeah, I was, of course, working on different drills, studying different workouts. I was like, yo, let me start learning more about sports psychology and just, you know, see what that's about. So while learning about that to help other people, I started learning about myself. Like, and this is, you know, probably first breaking news right now, but for every game that we played, I was so nervous. Every game.
Is this coming from a coach's standpoint?
Yeah, no, I'm just coming from, well, me looking at myself in the lens of a coach, and then just me remembering.
Gotcha.
Every game that we played, like, I used to just get very anxious. So what I've studied and learned is I had performance anxiety. They never really put a name to that back then.
Right.
It's either you choking, man up, you saw. It's like
you know, gotta dig deep within and just be a man.
Yeah, like, you know, you know, and like,
there's no medical terms to it.
No, it's like, whereas like I was the only one nervous before during the game. Like, then once I got a rebound, once I blocked the shot, once like the game started rolling, it went away. But like, so learning more about that and learning that there's names for these things, and that there's also people now more than ever dealing with those type of things.
They're more open about it.
Yeah, like I was like, I want to help. You know, I want to help. You know, at least give y'all a voice. And then not to get too deep about it, but there's also no one that looks like us comfortably talking about
these things. That's
our culture that makes it okay to talk about these things. So it's like, all right, let me be that person. You know what I mean?
Word.
So,
And with all that, do you connect more with, because once again, we went to school together, so tying this in, like, we went to school in MECO program, doing public school, so we went to school in the suburbs, but, you know, we obviously went to school with people that didn't look very much like us, but, you know, we got the experience, we got the resources and everything. Now, do you feel like do you branch into this inner city? Is what you're doing is more in the inner city, or are you touching more on like I guess a larger scale than the city, like more regional? Are you more than regional? Are you trying to expand it past regional?
Yeah, and I'll be real with you, bro. Like, I wouldn't change our path for nothing. Like, granted, and I'm just kind of giving some context. Granted, like I said, right after high school, I went to HBCU, Winston-Salem State, loved it. You know, just because I just felt comfortable in the classroom and just, you know, being there. But like, I would not change being in not in the most diverse situation all throughout grade school for nothing, because it taught, and I feel like it gave us a gift to be able to talk to whoever, you know, and relate to whoever, you know. So I say all that to say, it's like, yeah, I do think that played a huge part in like my goal right now, because like, to me it really don't matter what your background is, like, you know, where you come from, like everybody may be bad at some of the things that I'm, you know, trying to do. You know, we're talking about mental health, you know, playing sports, that's your ability, being in your own head. So yeah, my goal is to help the inner city figure this out, because there's not enough people that are trying to do that. Everybody's yelling at each other, and yeah, that's a whole other conversation when it comes to coaching in the city. But like, yeah, I want to help that first, but even like to this day, there are people that aren't from the inner city that I'm working with that are like brothers to me or family to me, that, you know, it doesn't really, it's not just like one group of people that I'm trying to help move forward. Because at the end of the day, in order for us to really figure this out, we have to do it together. Like, you know, again, everyone that's, you know, like-minded and with a good cause, you know, I feel like they can. That's, maybe go a little bit further for the audience.
No, you good. You good. This is your time to shine. This is called the Neighborhood Spotlight, where, you know, we inspire one to talk about one here. And, you know, once again, we doing it live and everything too. So I think we got Bob. My man Bob is in here, man. Shout out Bob's Reaction, dog. Thank you for letting me know about the volume. See, once again, these volume checks be crazy, so I had the music going. And I think
it's too loud.
I think the music was a little bit too loud, so they're saying they can't hear or whatever. So
I hope that we can bring that back a little bit.
Yeah,
a little, and we can be good with that. But once again, it's the first rollout. You know what I'm saying? The pilot episodes of this whole thing, real quick. And you know what it is? 'Cause I got this all the way up. That's what that is. I got that all the way up. See, I get excited with that. I get excited.
And I was gonna say that. My mic's good, right?
Nah, I think we good because we good with the mic situation. I think it was just more or less that. But once again, now the focus piece of everything. Now, when you say focus and everything, how do you get people to focus? Like you said, performance anxiety for yourself. Now, there was people that relate to that probably when you deal with them. So how do you like coach them through a situation like that? I mean, I think we all have that. Like even when I get on this mic, you know, there's sometimes I have performance anxiety, so to say, because I get nervous about what I may say, how I may fumble or whatever. And the ways I overcome it is I just block it out. You know what I mean? I don't really go through all these other junctions to figure it out. I'm just like, all right, just block it out. If you mess up, just keep rolling with it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like for example, right now, she got fucked up for a minute, but I kept rolling with it. You know, and I just go back. But how do you get people inspired to focus on like their fears and put in the effort for that? Because once again, those are like your taglines and the models and everything. So how do you tie those in?
I would say so every course is case by case basis. As you know, we can have 5 people in the room and we're all dealing with 5 different things. And I can't say it's a universal approach for everybody, but I think the thing that I kind of pride myself on with that is like just building that connection too. You know what I mean? Like I gotta know you care about me in order for me to open up to you, in order for me to solve my problem. My bad.
They're different today, but my bad.
So it's like so that's the first level of it, because you're not just walking down the street telling anybody about your fears.
Right.
Because a lot of people see that as weakness.
You gotta have a little trust and stuff like that too.
So
but they say the best people to open up to sometimes, and somebody told me this back in about 6 years ago, was like opening up to strangers could get things off a little bit easier because there's no judgment coming from that stranger, depending on who you're talking to, obviously.
You know what I'm saying? And it's also it's case by case because you may not, most likely you're probably not going to see that person ever again in life. You know what I mean?
Exactly. True.
So, but to get back to the youth part of it, it's like once this generation is different than any other two. I'll say it like that. Like once they know you care about them, they'll run through a wall for you. They'll go to all the state to state to state just to make sure that you good. And so I think it's a little bit different than how we were. We were just do it. Just like you know what I mean. Like I respect you because you're older than me. Just do it. And it's like these dudes are a little bit different. So I say all that to say it's like I talk to folk when you're coaching. It's like you got to be a counselor first. You got to be big bro second, and then you got to be a coach.
Right.
Like you got to, and a lot of people may see it differently because it's like, nah, I know what I'm talking about, and you'll get buy-in to a certain point, but as you know, when that pressure start hitting, say championship game, semifinal game, last minute, when that pressure really hit,
yes,
and I don't know you got my back. Then that's when you get that people shutting down. You don't know what you're talking about. You think you're cool, but then when it really come down to it, you don't really got
when
that
shit hits the fan, it's a little different. That's
so it's like whereas like if they know you believe in them or vice versa, they're gonna go down with your decision and know like, all right, coach, you make a mistake because you allow. I'm okay with you making a mistake because you allow me to make a mistake. So that's just all again case by case, but those are the general things that I try to pride myself on when it comes to that.
So also with that, right, because once again, this is all about the youth and everything too. And, you work with a lot of the adolescents and, inner city kids and everything. So how important is it, and I don't even know what's going on in the school systems right now because I'm not even around kids or have kids myself. So being that I know there was after school programs, there was all these outlets for kids growing up. Do you provide that space for kids while being a mentor and doing all these things with what you're running? Is that something that you bring to the table as well too, or am I reaching on that?
No. It's a combination of things. So I would say this not to get off. I feel like I'm just now stepping into my real purpose. I've been trying to figure it out for a little bit, and being able to create those spaces. Then being in my job, which of course we'll get into a little bit later. Being in my job and then me really figuring out what Inspiring One is. It's more than just helping someone dunk and shoot better. And so really figuring out what it is. Now I'm getting into the spaces of okay, how can I create more opportunities to help more people? granted, I'm one person, and also like, we all got a bandwidth, so just trying to balance that.
Mm-hmm.
But now I feel like I have the resources to like create more spaces to spread this message along and help empower more people. So that's like where I'm trying to go with it now. Like, you know, finding like-minded folk, like building a team of folk that like are all on the same page but doing their own thing. You know, got one of my homies' brands on right now, Raw Blue Dynasty, like we do.
Once again, go check out the brand. Once again, this is all about the spotlights here, you know. So we are live. We are in Boston. Let me know how everything else sounds too. My fault to cut you off, but also just I kind of figuring out the sound as we go along too. But you know, once again, Dynasty, that's a brand as well too. That's something in Boston. I know we got some viewers and subscribers here too that are from Lynn, Marlboro, from different areas in Massachusetts, which is why my man T is here as well, speaking about all these things, because once again, we all want to band together here, so that's a start.
Yeah.
So
No,
continue on. My bad.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's just
we'll get better at that at some point, you know.
You assume, like you said, we gotta get used to the commercial promos and stuff like that. We're gonna get those soon.
Hold on. We got a question for you too. This is the fun parts about lives. We got a question. So first of all, shout out everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all sliding through to this live podcast, you know, neighborhood spotlight thing. We're gonna get better as it rolls up, but once again, we do this live. So we got a question from BYN15. I have a dream, bruh. I want to make music and shit. Should I focus on it or continue with school, which I hate? We can both answer that, I guess, but this is for you though too.
So my answer, I'm gonna give you two answers. I don't know how old you are. So and that really doesn't matter to a certain extent. If you're a younger homie, I would say like what's it called? It's like 21 and younger. Keep sticking with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, keep building your brand and your passion. Like, you know, because you got mad time to figure it out. And then you have mad time to meet people that can help you get in the right spaces. So I would say if you're a younger dude, like, stick with it, but also try to find some mentors that can help kind of speed up what you're doing. If you're in, say, 21 and up, though, still stick with it, because there are a lot of people that still panned out later in life. But also I would say you got to get a little bit more stability behind it. You can't just rely on the music. Like, still stick with it, use it as like the thing that, so I say, okay, Inspire One, like, even though I was doing this, I was always Inspire One, my job helped fuel that. You know what I mean? I just wasn't Inspire One training and doing stuff on my own and just like worried about Inspire One working out. You never want to put that much on your passion like that, because then that's how it burns out. So I'd say if you're, again, 21 and up, first say, like, yeah, still stick with it, but just have some stability behind you so you can do both and still enjoy it. So, yeah, that's my thought.
That's a great answer to that. And I mean, I can piggyback off of that. And like, for me, I would say definitely still, you know, focus on school as much as you hate it, but the school will get you through a lot more while you're in that phase of balancing things. So it's like you can have the same focus on school as you have in music, because once again, there is 24 hours in a day. And you can get a lot done in that 24 hours. Just about finding that balance. And to Tariq's point, finding a mentor is definitely very important, because I think that's something that I think people, younger and older, don't get pushed to do as much, which I think, like, you've been talking about mentors for a long time. So doing all of that is definitely important. But yeah, definitely keep the focus on school. Don't quit school. I don't know if you mean college or high school.
Yeah, that's what I was.
You know,
I say this too. Like, a lot of people may not say this because, again, school and college is not for everybody, and I'm always all that said. And again, this is somebody that, like I said, I went through school. I didn't like school. I just went through school because that's what I was pushed to do.
You were told to do that. That's what you're trained to do. You know? Be the worker bee.
Exactly. You know, but I say this: school, college. I'm talking about college now, not just high school. College is more so about the connections than anything you learn. Like, the connections that you make are far more valuable than some things that you're learning. So I would say, like, if you're kind of like between whether it's sticking with college and like you're on campus and doing that, like, stick with that, because like, one, get your degree because you never know, and then two, the people that you meet in that space are just different. It can help you get to where you need to go, and it may be music, maybe something around music. You never know. So yeah.
Word, and they replied back, thanks a lot. I already uploaded songs and shit, lyrics, and original, and I'm still like 16. Because I know I won't get through with school, and I hate seeing blood.
Because I grew up in the hood.
Yeah.
Just want to know.
But yeah, nah, bro. Definitely stick with high school. You gotta. Yeah,
Facts. You gotta get through. You gotta get through that part first.
Yeah.
I know, and that'd be the hardest part to do, especially when you're young, because we get to that point in our lives too, where we be like 16, like 18, and we think we know it all. You know what I'm saying? We think we got all the answers, but it's best to go through what you're going through, and then have the proper guidelines to just figure it out as you go along.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, BY. Appreciate that, B. But yeah. Now I want to ask you as well too. Well, before I get into that, if you're in here lurking and smirking, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Shoot a little like. As well, I wanted to ask you, what's more important between focus and effort? Like, what would you put first between the two?
Focus.
Okay.
Because you're kind of like what you were just saying about like when you mess up and you keep kind of pushing through, like when you build momentum with your focus, the effort will follow suit. Like a lot of people think in like you kind of a lot of people just like that have done great things. Like you wake up with motivation and just like there's just motivated people, ambitious people that are like that all day.
There's
like,
trenches involved.
Yeah,
in that
like
shit. Yes.
nah, like sometimes you really don't want to do what you're passionate about. I just don't feel like it. But when you just focus on something to help build that momentum, the effort comes.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
So yeah, I would definitely say focus. And also there's mad distraction on here, but again, something else that's not for this podcast.
Word. I mean, it may come up because once again, these are just combos with beats on the couch, dog. So we just be having conversations about a whole bunch of things. That's the point with that. You know, it's like we start these conversations, they can segue into something else.
Yeah.
You know, but the main focus is like what I tried to do, and with starting this is having the conversations with people who are around the city, in the city, doing great things for the city, whether it's sports, whether it's music, whether it's something for the youth, regardless of what it is. When you're just trying to do something that's like your self promotion, I try to push that on here because my channel, I feel like it's self-promotion. You know what I'm saying? It gets all, like, I like to put it like this, it's all me, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm going to push to do this. I'm going to motivate myself to get my channel out there. I'm going to motivate to, get out there and reach out and network with people and have these conversations, whether it's hip-hop, whether it's life conversations, whether it's shit like that. And once again, this is a new space because this is my first time doing this. This is the very first episode. You know what I'm saying? So doing all this is just open up different avenues, and like you said, it's the focus of doing that and like putting in the effort. Because once again, like we were here about almost a year ago to date where shit was fucked up. Almost a year ago.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? When we were reacting to Eminem's murder, music to be murdered by shit or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? The death of some shady shit, and it's like I was struggling with that, but I had to focus down. Get a little motivated, be inspired, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of just be better and do better. And just also, once again, we were talking a lot behind the scenes while I was going through this process too. So going back to his motto as well too, which like he says is inspire one. He was inspiring me to just do better about certain things and just get my logos up and all this other stuff. And once again, he's a man that reps the brands of his homies too. And like that's something that I always push as well too, is like just support your homies in any sort of way. And he's doing that by wearing something like support is free. You know what I'm saying? Promotion is free. And a lot of people don't understand that because I think a lot of people think they're supposed to get something out of it. You know what I mean? And if they're not getting something out of it, they don't see any reason of doing that, which I think is always the wrong way to do that. So,
No, and again, not to go, like, main reason that, like, you do that, because you can't do it on your own. Like, you can, but it's like you're not gonna be able to get as far. You're gonna burn yourself out potentially, and also everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Right. So again, I mentioned the homie Rob Blue and then Dynasty is because like he has a similar vision as me, but he's just doing it in a different way. But we come together every year to do our after our invitational All-Star tournament.
Yep.
We're doing something a little bit different this time around. Again, I won't ruin the surprise. There's gonna be some promotion around that, but still, like coming together to like give a spotlight to the youth, in a different way, or just the way that we used to, get the same vibes that we used to feel, So yeah, Dynasty, for sure.
That's dope. That's dope. and I mean, those of you that aren't familiar, like we were kids that grew up in Boston, grew up in the inner city and everything, and once again, for the most part, I think to my understanding, you're connected with sports and basketball too, right?
Yes.
And it's like mentorship through sports, through coaching, through trainings, through practices, through AAU tournaments, through circuits like that. So with that being said, we grew up in an area where we grew up with the BNBL and all these circuits like, you know, AAU and, you know, the beginnings of that, which I don't even think BNBL exists anymore. And no books, no ball. So I think my question is to you is like, did no books, no ball kind of give you this idea to get into this pocket a little bit? Because I know that you were the no books, no ball babies. Like you and Jared, you know what I'm saying? Like I know that y'all was like, you know, a product of that environment, which is great. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that to be funny at all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I just know that these are programs that, you know, once again, I see a couple of the homies from Boston kind of doing all these things, and some stick with no books, no ball, but I see that y'all kind of went and did your own thing, so to say, and started to create your own thing. So
I wouldn't. Again, I rock with no books, no ball heavy. A lot of basically, honestly, every kid that I work with now that I have a strong bond with came from no books, no ball.
Okay,
and again, a lot of people don't know that. Like,
that's dope.
Every kid that I train now, I have a good relationship with now. For the most part, I coached on my team.
Okay.
So like, so that's can always be, you know, grateful for them for that. But I can't say, like, I'll be real with you, bro. So like, ever since I was a kid, I've always kind of visualized like being a trainer, a developer of people.
We always talk about that too.
Yeah, you know, again, I just didn't know, because think about when we were younger, like trainers weren't getting paid like that. Like you would see them, of course, you know, rebounding and passing before the game and stuff like that. But they didn't have a lane like they did now. Yeah. So the thought was always in my mind, and so it's funny because I always thought of myself as, like maybe coaching is my thing. Mm-hmm. So I got involved in No Books, No Ball because one, I wanted to give back to the program that, you know, helped build me, and then I was like, okay, this is a chance for me to kind of test out this coaching thing. And then through that, like, you know, I was very grateful because I just met parents that trusted me with their kids, like, and that I'll always be indebted to them for that because they gave me a chance, you know, to like help hone my skills, my craft, you know. Again, doing quick shout outs, I may miss some people, you know. Started with Izzy and Julian, then Aiden, who's doing really dope things right now, Jalen Coleman, who's doing amazing things right now. Again, I'm missing a few people because, again, all of them I remember, but again, there's certain people that just stuck with me. Right. That just like, again, grateful that their parents and they trusted me to help build their craft. Adrian, like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like, the list is long. The list is long. Like, word. Yeah, so many of these homies. So yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what I like to hear, man. You know, once again, doing good things for the youth. Because, like I said, this is about the youth. You know what I'm saying? It's always about the youth because, like, what's the shit that we always say? It's like, they're our future. Yeah, and it's a real thing. Like, we get to that stage in our life, man, where we see that now on the other end versus we were that future at that point in time when we were that age, and like we didn't take things serious, but we didn't see how we were shaping things in our future as things were going on. So I always find that fire to watch people like you know what I'm saying, go back, like, you know, the Corey Lowe's, the Ant Gurley's, like, you know what I'm saying, all those people that we played ball with, go back and give back in that way to the community, because once again, there's something special and unique in a connection that you have when you're like an adolescent going through like the journey of being an athlete, playing basketball. Like, you have a different connection. It's like you build a bond. It's like, not like, some it's a father figure, but a lot it's like a big brother. It's a big brother thing. Like, for me, it was like having that big brother like figure and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's how I think when y'all came like under me, it's kind of like how like I was kind of like looking at that as like I had to lead by example, because it was one of those like.
Let's talk about that, man. Let's go. You want to throw the picture in the thumbnail? We gotta go back. We gotta go back to them times. No, I'm joking, but I want to go back to really like validate what you're saying. Like, you were big bro. Like we were at a high school that was, like you said, there wasn't people like us everywhere. Right. We were thrown out. We just say it again.
There was only a handful of us.
Yeah, there's only a handful of us. Like, in our MECO program, what I'm finding out is our MECO program was way more people in it than a lot of other people. A lot of people went through it because they just like 4 or 5 people in the MECO program. So I feel like we had it made. We were I think we didn't. Even though folks went through stuff, and I'm not saying like I don't think we went through as much stuff in our school as other people because we had the numbers and people knew, like, nah.
Yeah, I think the relationships I feel like were different too.
Yeah,
I feel like when those things that we did hear about, I'm like, yeah, that didn't happen as much over here. Like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because it was too close to the city. Because Newton is pretty close to the city, where it's like, though you may not see them in your neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? You seeing us around, you know what I'm saying?
It's only 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, you still gonna see us around and shit. So, like, you know, when you get to the Sudburys and further out, you less likely to see us around like that. So it's moved a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, but I just want to say that, like, again, to give, you know, I'm at the point where just give people their flowers. But wow, they still. So yeah, we were on a basketball team where you were the veteran player. We're not going to talk about how that played out. But I generally feel, you know, knowing playing with you off the team, your role should have been greater. But that you showed us how to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, and then again, you were 17, 16. You didn't know what you were doing. I was an old head. I was an old senior now. You know what I mean? But you didn't know what you were doing, but you were showing us how to navigate the nonsense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like, don't let it affect your play. Yeah. You know, cause I kind of remember certain conversations. I'm like, hey, man, like, y'all are still young. Like, y'all still got stuff to do. Like, I know, like, the bullshit that you may see, like, it's going to happen to y'all, but, like, you just have to push through that and just continue to, you know, stay focused and put in the effort because it's going to play out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, and again, that was dope. You know, and it's just like bigger picture because it's like without that mentorship, again, everybody's story would have played out a certain way, but we all hung in there because it's like, damn, I don't feel like I'm going to practice today. But yo, Rob, let's go, Rob, like, it wasn't like you were always checking us to be at practice, right? But it's like we wanted to show up for you. I'll just speak for me. We wanted to show up for you because, like, dang, we don't show up. Rob's by himself. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? And Rob actually shows that he appreciates having us on the team. It ain't about you know, Metco kids or nothing. It's like, I'm happy to have somebody I can relate with on this team because I've been going through it.
Ready to build a village, you know what I'm saying? Ready to build something. I'm like, we got some talent, dog.
Word. You know? So, yeah, but just want to say, like, that was very important back then.
Word.
Yeah, you know, who knows how things would have played out if we didn't have that mentor on the team to kind of, like...
Just somebody steer you a little bit different and shit.
And, and like you said, like, because of not the dragon, because you were that for us, it made us be that for Alex. It made us be that for Willie. You know, Alan. You know, it's like all the dudes that like behind.
It's a trickle down effect.
Yeah, like we were like the leaders for them because it's like, yo, like, you showed us how to be that. You know, so yeah, just
appreciate that. Appreciate that. And that's a trickle effect, a full circle moment to show what you're doing almost 20 years from now. You know, like it shows that what you do can inspire or have somebody regain their focus or have somebody else put the effort into like what they're doing and whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because they've dealt with somebody like yourself who, you know, who knows, and obviously there's other people in your life that will steer you in that right direction and play a hand in it. But like, if you don't have those things that line up, who knows what the trajectory it is of like how you may treat certain people or how you may handle certain situations, certain adversity. You know what I'm saying? Because in life, I think, you know, life hands you adversity and how you handle it is like kind of foreshadows like what you do later on. You know what I mean? So it's always just, I think it's always best to learn early. You know what I mean? It's always best to learn early, and then you take those same learnings and teachings and you apply them later on in life. You don't even see them play out like that
that's what I'm saying.
Until you like get to that
I'll be real with you. Like, if you would have told me, like you said, 20 years ago, I'd be saying that to you. I'd be like, nah, like, but you don't. It's like you're not really seeing what's going on. You're trying to live, like things are happening all around you. 100%. But when you really reflect on it, it's like, dang, yeah, you know, that's real talk. You know?
So I guess like to piggyback off of that, because you know clearly I'm not like the best interviewer, but we're trying out here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just, we turning this into a conversation and shit. You know, and that's the best way to do it. I think is more of like a best conversation. But like, where do you see like, because you and Jared work together, right?
Yeah. So I do, of course, the training. Like I said, mindfulness, all the like to say the physical things. You know, well, not Jared handles all the business stuff. So like connecting with colleges, you know,
the network man.
Yeah.
Word.
Yep.
So, where do you guys see? Because you know everybody has like a 5-year, 10-year plan. So like, where do you put this in like 10 years, 5 to 10 years? Where do you guys see yourself elevating the program in the next 5-10 years?
Yeah. So the dope part about, so two things I said. The dope part about the space that I'm in now, like when I first started doing this, anybody who just wanted to get better at basketball was working with me. Like, and again, not to sound like that, but now I'm at a point where it's like I can be very selective about who I'm putting my time into. Because that's really what you're putting time into people, especially when you're working with.
And you're putting it's like an investment.
Yeah, it's an investment, especially when you work with people, say from like 9. Even though I started at 13 now, I don't do my past.
So y'all hear that?
Yeah,
not enough.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's real spooky. Like you spend your whole workouts.
Anybody
like,
interested? 9 and up. But what's your Instagram?
13 and up. And what's it called? At inspire1.culture.
All right, y'all hear that? At Inspire1 Culture. If you're ever interested, anybody that's in Boston local, if you're interested in putting your kid in this program, there you have it. We're gonna put that when I repost it again too, because this is live, but I reposted this shit too.
Because it gets real spooky, bro. I'll be real with you. You spend hours just like teaching crossovers, or hour spending teaching just a crossover or between the legs. It's you really reflect on it, it's like it's like not worth it.
Go develop on your own.
Yeah, like they come back to you when you're good. Like no offense, like because it's just so we can utilize both of our time to the best of our ability.
That's real. That's real shit. That is real shit.
So, but regardless of that, where I want this to go is being, like I said it earlier, like being a developer of people. Like again, I could say skill developer. Like the thing that I constantly write down and I'm journaling from time to time is like I want to be the best developer of people. You know, so and people coming to me for that be an advisor, guidance, like counselor. Like it's a one-stop shop here. Like, you want to get better at dribbling? Okay, just that, cool, I got you. You want to get stronger and faster? Okay, cool, I got you. You got all the skills in the world, but you don't know how to use it because you're in your head. Okay, I got you. Or you want, one-stop shop of all those things. So that's the goal, to be that for a select group of people, because it is important. Like I joke around about being selective, but you got to be real. If you have the choice to, everything has to line up. I got to make sure I connect with you because I may not be. I'm a calm person. That may not be for you. You may need the yelling and screaming. It's like
who fucking up the line again?
Yeah, like you may need that. Some people do, and again, I can bring it there, but that's not my natural state.
Right.
So it's like or personality wise, you may not click. Then there's another level to it. Your parents may be the problem. It's like,
which is a lot of cases of evil athletes and shit. Yes, it'd be the parents.
So it's like I gotta. So if I have a choice, everything gotta line up. So making sure everything lines up there, and then being the advisor for some of the top talent in Boston, and also saying that to say that we can all coexist in this world. A lot of people think in this scarcity type of mind, like everyone gotta fight for the same talented kids. Like, nah, again, I just want to complement what other people are doing, and then on the business side, be able to help them get more opportunities. Say NIL's becoming a thing. That's why I was saying this is the second. Like NIL's is a thing. People don't know how to navigate it. There really are no rules right now. So, taking advantage of that, and really helping people navigate the business side of the world. Because one thing I'll leave off on is that the world, the state of where things are right now, especially in the basketball world, is so much nastier than when we were growing up. It's crazy. There's so many more. Probably not. I don't know. I'll say probably so many more people with agendas and issues out here that just either trying to live through the kids.
Between the parents.
Yeah, between the parents, but between some of these people who are like advisors. You know what I mean? Like, but this got their own agenda, getting paid off, getting stuff too much for this podcast. So
it's funny because I was going to ask you, what do you think the state is of youth basketball from a developmental standpoint, from a mental toughness standpoint? From just a standpoint of just are the parents too involved now, or kind of going off what you're saying still, are the parents too invested where they want to see a bag out of it because they see all these expensive contracts that go on with the pro athletes? So do you think there's more motivation to kind of get rich quick schemes now with the youth now when it comes to these athletes and developing? Do you sense that more versus a real love for the game? Because it obviously comes from the best way I can put it is he got game, right?
Yeah.
And obviously that ended up being fucking Jesus Shuttlesworth and stuff, and he was the greatest player out of the movie and stuff he developed. But watching his character early in the movie when he was pouting and he didn't really want to do it, and that wasn't what he wanted to do. Do you see that developing with the youth now.
100%, because we're talking, we know, like, regardless of what you're talking about, money changes people. Like, it's like, right. So when you giving a potentially 15-year-old kid close to $500,000 in some cases, like, yeah, that's going to determine how I'm moving in school. Like, that's going to determine, like, you know, again, no offense to the homie to ask the question, but if he got a contract right now, the heck with school. Right. If I'm looking at if I don't even really want to do it, like, all right, I'll take this over here and learn to figure out the rest later. Yeah, like, facts, you know, facts. So that's a fact. It's determining where I go, you know. So yeah, that plays a huge part in it, and also there's a part that people don't talk about as much. When I'm a 15, 16-year-old kid, and I'm getting paid more than mom and dad, I'm going to repeat that. When I'm a 15, 16-year-old kid, and I'm getting paid more than you on a yearly basis, who are you? I'm bringing the money in.
I'm the breadwinner out here. Like, you can't tell me, as long as you paying the bills in this house, you can't be coming in late and shit. I'm paying the bills now.
It's like, and there's some parents that have issues, which they should. Like, who are you?
No,
I have an issue. But it's like, you know what I mean? But there's parents that have issues with that. Like,
but remember the parents say it so you can, you know, remember what the parents used to say to us, because we didn't get this money like that. So it's like, you know, until you can get the money to pay these bills and shit.
But they
this
do.
Is my house. That's what I'm saying. Now they do now.
They paying the mortgage. Something like, and I ain't everyone's crib, but they paying the mortgage because mom and dad, you know, needed you to pan out in ball, and you just panned out sooner than they thought.
Right.
So that changes stuff up. That changes stuff up a lot, and so that's why it's important. Again, guidance, bro. Like, that's why it's important that you get somebody in your life that can guide you. Like, again, I'm sitting here saying I ain't still even talking about myself. Just find somebody that can guide you and help you and your parents navigate it, because it gets spooky very quick.
Right.
And at least you have a sound, unbiased voice to say that doesn't make sense. Yeah, but it's $500,000. I know, but they're about to have you in a chicken outfit.
Right.
it's
selling out.
Yeah, it's like, yo, like, you know, even though, again, you know, if it's like, again, that's case by case. But, like, you know, just get somebody that is knowledgeable and that can guide you. You know, that's the easiest thing I can say, because it gets spooky, and some parents really need that. Mm-hmm. Like, even you may be very capable, you just need another voice that you know is in it for you, and not all these other things that come through whatever door, you know? So, yeah.
No, word. Shit, man, that goes into, you know, my next part of, like, my burning questions here, because obviously this goes back to, like, we're dealing with the youth, and we're talking about working in the inner city and just dealing with kids that way. And I know, once again, in the inner city, not everybody's peachy, squeaky clean.
No.
And not everybody's you know, on the straight path. You know, some are on that narrow path. Now, are you dealing with, and I can assume that's why you have the Inspire one as well too, because once again, the streets can get the youth. And what's crazy is that the streets also be having the best athletes sometimes when it comes to shit. Like, you see that some of the best athletes really be in the streets sometimes because there's no guidance and shit. Now, are you coming across a lot of that as well, or some of that where I don't know where I'm trying to go with this.
No, I know what you're trying. I just didn't want to cut you off.
Good.
Like, so I'll say it like this, and again, I can't speak for every hood, and I can't speak for every gym. I feel like there's more of a separation now in some instances, even though, again, I'm gonna clarify what I mean. Like, I feel like the homies that are in the life, they don't even like, nah, I ain't with that ball thing. I'm gonna be out here scamming. Like, I'm gonna shoot around during pickup, but I ain't really gonna try to make this ball thing work as much. Even though that's one group. Then there's another group where it's like they're not in the life, but they're surrounded by the life.
Right.
Those are the ones that, to your point, that like, nah, yeah, I try my best to help them, because I know it's probably could be one bad day, one bad practice where you just get caught up, and then, as we know, that's all it takes. Like, you know what I'm saying?
To get you off the path or whatever. Because once again, there'd be a lot of talented kids that get involved in like the wrong shit. Yeah.
Because they just want to be a part of something, bro. Like, and I'm not trying to justify it, but I got, you know, like, again, going back to what we were talking about, like, the grateful thing about our lives is like I was able to interact with everybody, good and bad, like, and again, even the bad, they weren't bad. They just wanted to be involved in something, wanted to be like cared about. And unfortunately, the people that cared about them weren't doing the best things. You know, so it's up to me. Again, I can't save everybody. That's also been something I'm trying to learn too. But whoever is willing to be in my space, like, nah, more people care about you than people not doing things that can help you. Like, nah, I care. You just got to show up. I ain't got to force you to come to the gym though. Right. Like, I can't get you out of bed. Like, it's like, but if you wake up and you show up here, bro, I'm gonna try to make it the best 2 hours. You know, you're gonna get the most of this 2 hours. Facts. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to do. But those obstacles are out there. Yeah, now more than ever. Last thing I'll say to that is because homies got these phones and these devices just at will, and they're like, and I say that to say I'm not even trying to sound old when I'm saying it, but they get so many missed messages, more missed messages than we did.
Right. Yeah, because too much access to the bullshit.
Too much access to the bullshit. You're seeing, and you're comparing yourself to people. Bro, think about it. Not that we're playing ball at New and South High School. Right. We would hear what's going on in BCL. We would hear about what's going on, say in the city.
But I didn't see it.
You didn't
never
see it.
There was never like, oh shit,
you could just
see
practice here, and you're like, damn, homies in Cali are making $500,000. I'm better than him. I should be doing that. Right. Like, yo, I don't want to do this no more because, like. But
which makes it even worse because now it kind of goes into like, I feel like kids play into. Now, once again, we always came up on the highlight circuit and the mixtape circuit and shit like that. But the social media clickbait part of the mixtape circuit has gotten kids not to focus on the game. And I feel like, is that something that you find challenging dealing with, you know, training the youth and putting them on that? Because once again, that's lacking of focus if they're more focused on a highlight versus 7 lowlights, but they want to get their little IG reels or like their Insta reels popping with like the mixtapes. You know what I'm saying? Now, how do you get kids to focus on the actual portion of the game versus focusing on what I like to say with my boys in the chat is the glitz and the glamour of shit? You know what I mean?
I'll be real with you, bro. Like, it's tough because you're fighting a battle. Like, if they're only with you for an hour, but then, they go back home and then what I try to, it's like all about your values though. I say like getting them to,
which is so important.
That you know what I mean, getting them to like very understand your values. Like, is your values? I say like, and I say this too. Like, I guess this may sum this up. I don't care how hard you work. There's always going to be someone out there that's faster. I don't care how hard you try to work in your hops. There's always going to be someone out there that jumps high.
There's always going to be somebody that's better
than you. There's people that are not in the NBA that are better than some of the people that we're watching on TV right now. So
there's better rappers out there that ain't mainstream that's better than the rappers that's mainstream. That's
so if you spend so much time comparing yourself to all this, you're never going to get nowhere. So it's like, yo, just like. So again, it sounds very generic and Disney Channel, but just like focus on focus on just being better than you. Right. That's the only thing you rarely can control. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I get them to try to lock into that. And then like I do the thing where it's like we do a drill and say we do it 2 weeks from now. Or do a workout. Yo, is that getting easier? I know it is, but I ask because like, yo, this feeling lighter. Like,
push you a little bit more.
You see that? You see that? You see how you're making progress? Like, just acknowledging your own progress and helping them acknowledge their progress, because we live in a space where things are moving mad fast. So it's like, if you don't just stop and acknowledge, like you don't stop and acknowledge your progress, you feel like you're not making any at all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, nah, bro. Like,
take a step back a minute.
Yeah, nah, like you said a year ago, it wasn't set up like this. It's like, dang, bro, you doing your thing. But if you compared yourself to ex-influencer that's been doing it, you're always gonna feel like
I'm gonna be like, oh, ain't nothing happening. You just got. It's always about the do you mentality and going back to focus. Like, you just got to put your head down and focus on what you got to do in the task at hand. And I think that's always dope. That once again you have the focus, effort, and inspire one as like your tag, because those are all pop out words for anybody out there that needs that. You know what I'm saying? And because once again, those things don't just apply to sports. Those things apply to life. Those things apply to, you know, if you're an inspired artist like VN that just popped in the chat asking the same thing. Like, that applies to everything. And once again, that's why I'm kind of glad I did this live, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, it gets things going again, you know. And once again, I like just having, excuse me, that burp was crazy. But that's why I like having just, like, you know, certain conversations and open up a dialogue for, you know, people to share things like that. Because once again, to inspire one, that's one right there. You know what I'm saying? That's literally one right there. That is a prime example of what the whole thing is. So once again, first episode of the pod.
I'm loving that. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with that hard, man. Is there anything else that that I missed maybe about what you're doing, or anything that you would like to add? Not before we conclude, obviously, because there's a lot more. Because we segueing into like the basketball talks and everything as well too. But is there anything that you would like to leave off with, with the people that's watching, that when I redo this, put it out there again? Like, is there anything that you want to leave people with?
And again, this is probably general, but all right, I'm gonna keep it real, and I already did. You can't wait for someone to save you. You gotta save yourself. Like, if you keep waiting for, even though I did tell him to go get a mentor, like, you keep waiting for that mentor to save you, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna happen.
You gotta do it yourself. Like, nobody's coming to save y'all. Like, and again, I'm not saying that in a dark way. I'm honestly saying that in an empowering way.
It's more like, because you just pick yourself up off the ground.
Yeah, like,
get yourself up out of there.
1,000%. Because when you end up making that thing happen, it means more than it being handed to you. One, two, it's just like I think I spent way too much time like waiting for certain things to pan out, when it's like, you have all the gifts already to make whatever pans out for you. Like, and it's like, and I'm sitting here to say, like, yeah, if you out here trying to be an ice skater and you ain't coordinated like that, potentially probably ain't your thing. But you could work on your body, like, you know what I'm saying, if that's truly what you feel like you're passionate. So even though, again, that analogy, if you are truly, to me, if you're passionate about something, and you things are gonna start lining up for you to make it happen, but don't wait on somebody to line those things up for you. I guess that's a roundabout way of saying what I was about to say.
Well, there you have it. There you have it, man. Don't wait for somebody to save you. Get out there and get to it. Get after it. That is what we got right there, man. I mean, once again, I appreciate you, sharing light on the Inspire One focus and effort. What would you call it? Movement, program,
culture. I think that's
culture.
It's a culture.
Okay, it's a culture. Yeah. Yep, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like all those things have a place with something, and I never really know how to place certain things. I have to be told. I got to be taught. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that is. You know what I'm saying? It's a culture. It's a movement. It's a motto. And I think that's just really what it boils down to. And like, once again, if you have children out there, if you are inspired by this, if you want to, connect with my man Tariq, man, I will have all his handles in the descriptions. You know what I mean? All the links and stuff connected to his movement in the descriptions as well too. So that's what we got right there. But we're not done. We're not done with that. That was just part one. That was segment one. This is like a 5-part episode right now. But as we say that, once again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out Vibe. Shout out VY. Shout out, what up, Elise? Sorry, I do this every time, Elise. My fault. What up, LC? OT the Real, what's happening? Shout out to you. Appreciate you popping in, swinging through. Let's see. I know I wanted that part 1 from part 2 of Quilly Disc. Yo, if you still here, I'm gonna need that one. I'm gonna need the link for that one, or not the link, but just tell me what the song is called, and I'm gonna pull that up. Because once again, this is like a joint reaction day too. We starting off with just talking about a lot of things. Like I said, this is just a neighborhood spotlight, and once again, hopefully we can chop it up soon. I'm getting an email too as well. OT. Like I said, my other email is my Gubby, man, and I know your real name is OT the Real, so I know that I'm not trying to give you my real name. It's just like the phone number shit. But we will definitely connect. I hit you up on IG, but I know you was real busy with the Millie's concert. Well, shout out to pulling up to the Millie's concert, man. My man's was doing the photography for that, which is pretty fire. So that looked like a fire show. I'm mad that I missed it, because I was definitely gonna pull up to that too. But I think last minute things. Plus, I went to the Kendrick concert. So big shout out to you, homie. We segue into that with the fucking Celtics, dude. NBA basketball, bro. NBA basketball. Let's talk about it, man. So obviously, as we all know, the Celtics have fallen to the Knicks in 6 in Gotham City, aka the Garden. Tatum got hurt. We went down 0-2 early, which in my opinion, I think the series was lost then. We stormed back in Game 3. Game 4 was hopeful, and I believe that's where Tatum, what I say is he died. You know what I'm saying? That's when Tatum died, quote unquote. And we're now facing end of an early presumed dynasty, an assumed dynasty, but like an end of an era of like what was a very talented roster, which people had said nobody's beating this team in a 7-game series healthy.
and as well as just, we were just going to kind of run through the league, which it looked like we didn't. I don't know where people stand on it, but for me, I feel like more or less, the Celtics needed better balance on offense. The Celtics shot themselves in the foot by going down 0-2 early, as well as going down 0-2. They should have won game 2. So, what are your thoughts quickly on how you felt about how the Celtics season ended and what's in the future? What do you think's in the future?
All right. How to sum this up? First off, hope we get better soon. Jason Tatum, because ruptured Achilles ain't no joke.
Right, it's not a torn Achilles and it's ruptured too, which I looked up. There's a big difference.
I didn't know all that. But
I had to look that up. I was like, oh shit,
that's unfortunate. But hopefully he gets better. That changes a lot. But let me go back to your actual question. I don't like our system, and I'll be way more nicer to an extent on my opinions of this man. But and can I also say this? Let me just be: is Joe a bad coach? No, he's not a bad coach. Is he an inexperienced coach? Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't say that because he's gotten 3 years under his belt, got a championship, went to the Eastern Conference Finals. I can't really go all that far because he's had game plans. The same game plan has been the same.
That's the problem. You got to adjust the game plan.
You do got to adjust it and balance it. But let me ask you this, and not to cut off where you were going, but I guess it's a part of the basketball conversation here is like we both play ball.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
So to blame Joe, we've known that there's been several times in timeouts where the coach is asking to change the shit up.
Yeah.
And the players, as players, would go out and do opposite of what the coach is saying.
No, I was gonna say I wasn't solely blaming him. That's why I was just starting.
I see. That's why sometimes I gotta shut the fuck up.
I wasn't solely. I gotta start with the leader because I feel like the leader determines a lot from our own experiences. We know.
Facts.
So he's an experienced coach because I feel like he could have made certain adjustments, rotation wise and scheme wise. I get that analytically threes and all that type of stuff, cool. But when you're playing a team that you can kill inside, or not even just going when it's shown that when you play balanced, and that's the 2 games that we won this series is when we played balanced, not just all threes. You gotta do what works for this series, and then go back to what you were doing. That didn't happen.
You gotta have balance. I do agree with that.
The rotations to me were not the best. Whether that's him or whoever, I don't get that. Like, I'm sorry, I rock with Al. Cornette showed you he should have been playing more. Like, Al, if your shot's not on, you need to be sitting down.
Yes and no, because with Cornette is like you need somebody to give the ball to make something happen, and you can't give the ball to Cornette to make something happen. That makes you essentially play 4 on 5.
I agree with you, but also we needed people out there that's going to give us more opportunities. And I'm not saying all the time, sit down, Al.
Right.
Play them together.
Balance the minutes in the correct fashion.
But we needed more hustle players in there to make an impact and have more of an interior presence.
That's real. That's real. Because like Josh Harden there getting rebounds on motherfuckers and shit. I know it's that early in game 1. That's a fact.
And then again, I don't know why why did he fall out the rotation? Like, I know he ain't prime Dwight, but come on. Like,
somebody said the same thing. Why is Kata not playing? I'm like, maybe the moment just be too big.
Player, but he didn't even get a chance.
He got a chance in the final couple of minutes when we were down 60.
Blowout, joint.
Yeah.
So,
especially when you got players like Mitchell Robinson out there.
And then no offense to Mitchell, but what's the difference?
That's what I was about to say. Like, what's the difference between those 7-footers that are gonna give you rebounds, alter shots, change games? Like, I've seen them all out on the island. They don't get picked. Like, for me personally, I think Al was getting cooked in the island. In the island situations, it was looking crazy.
That's all I'm saying.
It wasn't looking like Godfather Al from before.
I'm with you. We got our guys. You could see Porzingis was half dead. Like, Why is he's hurting you more than he's helping you, and you keep waiting for him to like to
like
wake
this miracle's
up.
not gonna happen
Like,
right now. If he gets full rest
yeah.
and we win the series, then maybe try again.
And again, I'm speaking for as a coach. Like, and I coach at Madison Park High School. Like, I generally rock with all of the players that ever coached like younger brothers. Like, and they know that. And I'm saying that to say, when I've coached them in BNBL, I get caught in the feelings of like, dang, I want to see if the homie plays it out and works through it, and like maybe he just maybe just off.
Sometimes
but
the
then
game
I'm
is
sticking,
so mental.
yeah, and I'm sticking with dudes that like clearly show me that it's just not their game, and I got people on the bench that should be playing. So I understand coaching with your feelings, and then I like I said, it's something that I have to get better at, and I feel like I have, and I still got. But when I watch, I can say that because I'm watching someone else do it. Like, and I say that. Let me just sum it up with. He's to me a great player coach. Like, them dudes rock with him heavy, you could tell. But that's not sometimes gonna get it done. That to me is that next level of him, like making those unemotional decisions. And again, I can't say I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in the huddles. I'm just going off of like I feel like he's stuck with people too long because he's just trying to hope something panned out. And nah. Like,
I mean, I feel and the thing is, like, I feel you and I feel him because from Joe's perspective, I'm like, this is the playoffs, and certain moments do just be too big for certain.
But you
people.
gotta try. You gotta see.
You do.
You gotta,
but at the same time, like, sometimes you just can't throw that in there when I feel like when the season's on the line, I feel like you kind of got to play around like that. But when it's in the beginning phases, like, because once again, I feel like this series was not lost when we lost it.
No.
The series was lost in game 2 when the script was written.
So I said to say like all right, put Joe and shooting threes and adjustments over here. I already addressed that.
Right.
Game 1 and game 2, we should not have lost those games. You're up 20 points. Like, so
Both
that's
times,
what,
yeah.
20 points both times. Yo, it's just math. You're up 20 points.
Well,
like,
that's what
all
Joe
you
said.
gotta do is
Play
make
basketball.
them have less opportunities to score than you. If you do that at least 10 times,
you win the game.
you win the game.
So let me ask you this, because a lot of people felt like, weren't during those first 2 games, because we're reflecting over the series right now. So over those first 2 games, a lot of people didn't blame the lack of defense that came out of that.
And rebounding, because we weren't
lack
rebounding.
of defense, rebounding, because like I mentioned, Josh Hart was in there crashed like a mug, which he always does, which I'm surprised that's never on the scouting report to put a body on that motherfucker. But it's like you have that going on, then you have poor shot selections, which lead into now you're playing poor defense because now your scheme's all out of whack. Now, do you think the defense played a huge part in that, or do you feel like it was just shooting? Because I feel like a lot of people were focused so much on shooting, but I'm like, nah.
I do feel like
you
we weren't playing with no
defense.
effort on defense. Like we play effort. We play with effort in spurts.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Whereas
Right.
like, and I say that to say it's like the way that they played defense in Game 5. Why was y'all playing defense like that all series? Like, what's going on? There wasn't a possession where homies took a play off.
It's funny that
like,
you mentioned Game 5 because Game 5 is what leads us to feeling like we was about to come back in this series.
Yeah.
Because Game 5 was what I call the play with heart series or play with heart game. You know what I'm saying? It's the emotional game. It's the we gotta win one at home game. Like, there's a lot of other things that I think played a lot more into like that blinded myself and Celtic fans alike into thinking that we were going to walk into New York winning that game. And I say that because, yes, we controlled every aspect of the game up until last night, but at the same time, we controlled those aspects of the game with Jason Tatum at the helms as well. We controlled that part of the game because, once again, it's an emotional thing. It wasn't so much like that's our team makeup that controls it.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It was more or less like it's an emotional thing. So what I was telling people after the win was like, I hope y'all know that this is literally just the like, we're trying to save face. Once again, JT, this is for you. When you hear that means like they won that game for you. Now after that, they might pack it in because 9 times out of 10, you normally see teams packing in after that. Like they get that win to save the embarrassment.
But that's the disappointing part because I feel like Jalen was trying.
Yes, Jalen was trying.
Derek White was trying.
hooping
He
when
was just
off.
and dudes just game playing for him. Like Derek White is amazing. I may hopefully I'm not creating a controversy by saying this, but I was like, yo, the way that he was playing, he looked like low key, if not Steph Curry, like a better version of Steph Curry because he was hitting crazy. I'm saying this not to say that he's not Steph Curry.
I can see the reach, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get it.
In that in those moments, yeah, in those moments, the shots that he was hitting was Steph Curry-like. And I say better because regardless of the steals that Steph Curry would get, Steph Curry is never known for being an amazing on-ball defender, and Steph Curry is never known for blocking shots at the level that Derek White does in the guard. So if you take that side of Derek White's game that Steph Curry does not have, and I don't think ever will have because he's older, but in the shots he was making and creating, that's why I was saying that. So, but I'm saying that to say that that's not who he is, though.
Right.
And clearly, because if that was who he is, there ain't no game plan that's
gonna stop
you from doing that.
Right.
So like when they, bro, you're not doing that again. Like, yeah, okay, that was nice.
That was cute.
Like,
we're not seeing back-to-back games.
Get you off the picture because that's not your makeup, even though you're an Olympic player.
Which
so,
once
like,
again, elite, in my opinion, just gave you more experience versus that means you're an elite player.
Yeah.
That's not to say that, Derek White's not a really good player, but that's not also to say because he's on that roster he's an elite player.
No.
I think that developed his game a lot more being there.
And confidence. Because Derek White,
that's what I'm saying.
The version of Derek White we got when we first got him is like, who is that dude? I don't even know.
Versus what came
versus we got right now. Like, that's what I'm saying. The dude we got right now.
The last 2 years of White have been crazy. The White years have been crazy the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And the Olympics have made this year look even crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just feel like, a lot of people are putting too much blame on Joe because, once again, Joe makes the game plan. They executed Joe's game plan every time. What happens is like, there comes a point in time where you just have to know that I need to make these basketball plays to get us over the hump. Like, for example, and I can see how we would be fooled by Game 5 versus the other games because we played smarter basketball and the ball moved a lot more, but we also got to look at this, like maybe because the talent that we have to play, the ball has to move like that. Versus if we have Tatum, where he's a superior talent, and the ball, yes, it has to move, but we have a guy that can literally reshape a whole defense based off how he moves. So, and Jaylen Brown doesn't move the same way. Jaylen Brown's my guy.
No, right. You know what I'm saying? He's earned my respect.
He just doesn't move. His offensive prowess and his offensive threat is not the same as Tatum's.
So what
you can contain Jaylen Brown's game a little bit more than you can Tatum.
Yeah, no, and what I was hoping for was this. Just like when you see John Morant go down, just like when you see, usually more times than not, when the star of the team goes down, everybody picks it up because they're able to get more opportunity
in the regular season.
Yeah, no, I know. So, but you seen in game 4 that like I was hoping that. Cause like not for nothing, bro. Like let's really look at this roster outside of Porzingis being half dead. It's like
true.
You got a Drew Holiday that I know he's
you're good. Just keep going.
I know he's hitting that point. Of getting on the other side of 30. But to me, he's still Drew Holiday and a talented player. You got Derek White, who with more of a role like he's shown can provide more opportunities. You got Jalen again, who is a superstar in his own right. That can show that with more opportunities, he can make something happen. Got Pritchard, 6th man of the year. So anyway, it's like I was hoping that with more people getting more touches, it will open things up for them. I know that Jalen doesn't facilitate the game like Tatum, but I was hoping everyone would pick it up.
Right.
And also because the ball's not being funneled or shots aren't even being taken by one person, or one person isn't expecting to go off because if he does it, we know what's about to happen. So that plays a factor too in the Celtics. And I'm not saying that Tatum takes away from the team. I'm saying that any star of any team is expected to take a certain amount of shots.
True.
So when you take that away, I'm like, okay, that's 20 more shots that could go to everybody else, and maybe everyone else, steps it up like they did. And it just didn't happen. Like it's like that's where it's at. It just didn't happen.
Right. Now, who you think's because obviously we gotta have blame pie out there, and we're all blaming something. So who do you think's to blame for the entire meltdown in this series? Because in my opinion, I think Jason was gonna unfortunately tear his Achilles regardless of what had happened. To be honest with you,
why you say that?
Because it's just basketball gods are gonna basketball gods. You know what I'm saying?
Why not be an Achilles though? I was hoping it was.
Well, sorry. I mean, I'm not gonna go to that extent, but because the injury already happened, I'm like, if it happened, I'm like, it was bound to happen at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I look at it. Like
I see what
in this series, how it was going.
I will say this to save you. I think they got a lot of years in there. That's what I've been saying. Him and Jalen got mad years on their bones and bodies, like they went to the post.
So you know what's funny about that, dog?
So
I know what you're saying. There's a lot of mileage and all this shit like that, right? But dog. Listen. These dudes been in the league for 8 years.
Yeah.
Right? We grew up. Nah. See, this is where I be feeling like the new gen players are soft and all this weird shit because once again it goes back to like we're saying all this mileage shit, right? But I'm like, bro, these dudes sit out a lot of games. You know, and not when I say like sit out a lot of games, but like they sit out games. Like they rest these players a lot. They don't practice.
Tatum don't be resting like that.
He don't, but I'm just saying overall, like they manage these. They manage them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They manage these minutes and all this stuff that's being logged. So with all these things happening, which we watched Tatum get his minutes managed, we watched him sit out a few games. Like he's not missing games because he's like, oh, I'm soft and my butt hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not saying that, but we're saying today's NBA versus NBA of yesteryear. We'll just say yesteryear, right? Where dudes played all 82, played Olympics, did all this, and like once again, their careers might have been cut short, and like not even say cut short because they still extended their careers as time went over because once again, sports medicine got better. But these dudes played, they practiced, and they did all that, and they didn't even have these injuries that we're excusing these players for because of all this mileage and minutes. So they had the same mileage and minutes back then, but you didn't see these crazy injuries.
Well, I'll say this, and again, I'm not like, bro, the game is so much faster now. Homies play so much at a higher level of athleticism now than back then. There was more half-court ball. Like, you will watch a game, and they'll go up and down the court in like mad times within 30 seconds. That wasn't how
you're gonna bring analytics into this.
No, I'm not bringing that. I'm just watching physical people. You wear out their bodies more than they ever have in any other generation. Like,
but so here's my counter to that is that they still went up and down doing because if you look over the history of a lot of shit,
ball. It was more
the style was more half court and slowed down. Yes,
yeah.
But the physicality of that is equivalent to just running up and down. Because you're saying yes, they're just because once again they're running up and down.
Yeah,
it's not the physicality part, and once again, they do get a little physical every now and then.
Yeah.
And it's different, it's faster, it's more explosive, all of that.
Physicality, you got it. I'm not saying like the all the bank.
So it's like it kind of cancels that out.
No, but think about the injury: Achilles, ACL, knees being blown out, calves. These are leg injuries. These ain't like shoulders. Yeah.
So like, let me bring out a funny conspiracy for that, because once again. Do we blame the lack of practice? Do we blame the shoes? Do we blame this time management that we got going on? Because once again, these same lower injuries that are happening did not happen back then. These players were a lot more physical, a lot more powerful. Just as athletic, it's just the moves are different.
I blame the change in basketball. Like I blame that there's not enough half court basketball and there's way more transition basketball than ever before. Chucking threes. When you chuck a three, where's that ball going?
It's a long ball.
Well, if I'm not back there, what's happening?
It's a fast break.
I gotta get back on defense. Then we stop them from getting the fast break. Then we come back, shoot another three. What's happening again? Same exact.
But that's up and down with no physicality. Yeah, that's up and down.
But I'm running more, going up and down, stopping, cutting. You know, again, and also too. Again, I'm now really think about. You weren't doing all this Kyrie twitch.
And I was literally about to. That was going to be my next segue.
That pull that you look
at. Do you feel like all these herky jerk? I call them herky jerky moves because remember that like 10 years ago we saw the knees being the bad thing.
Yeah. With
the herky jerky, the Euro steps and all that, which had been more prevalent in the style of play.
Yeah.
Versus how it was when Mono was the only motherfucker doing it and shit like that. I'm only going off.
No, but that's real talk. Yeah.
But like
Jamal Crawford.
I think these moves, these unique extra moves that some, in my opinion, are fucking travels. But you know, it is what it is. I grew up in a pro hot spin move era. You know what I'm saying? So like these moves that I see where I'm like that pivot move, but okay, it's the gather and it's all this shit.
Yeah,
it's different.
But no,
like these moves play a huge part in these injuries. Like all this and step back and you know all that side to side.
That plays a part too. Because I'll say this now. I'm going into my development trainer bag. People also don't train their bodies to do these moves. Like they don't like you're doing them and you're wearing out, like you said, your ACL. But what if you train your body to be in those movements? Like a lot of people aren't even there with it. They squatting and doing lunges. That ain't training you to deal with that twitch. All right, sharp cut here.
Right, you need some elastic band training.
Exactly.
That little what's that shit?
Yep. On top of that, you know what?
That shit.
Ladders. But also, I bring it another level. These homies ain't playing outside as much as we used to play.
Dudes ain't playing, period. They don't gotta be outside. I think dudes just ain't playing, period.
I throw that pros. Like these are like all these things are factors that I throw. Like when you go outside playing with your neighbors, friends, whatever, you probably playing soccer, frisbee, football, basketball, all in one day, intact. Where it's like it. So I saw that your body's able to move in different ways and get used to moving in different ways. These homies from the port, they're born to now just playing ball. So your body's always used to moving in one way. So when you keep doing all them weird movements, not weird, but you keep doing all the wild movements that aren't getting you prepared for when they happen in the game. After a while, your body's gonna break because it's not used to that.
It's not used to being stretched out. Pause. You know what I'm saying? One way like to another and shit. And it's like you said, it's always non-contact. But here's the thing, though. You don't even see him off the moves, though. You see him running, though.
But then that goes back to what I'm saying. Like that's me saying that's just because of the style of way we're playing. Homies are jumping from the free throw line like it's normal. Homies are jumping and doing all like from long distances. They're wearing out their ligaments in their bodies way more than they had in the past because the game was lower to the ground. The game was lower to the ground.
And I'm glad you said that, and I'm finally glad to have this conversation with another ball player because, you know, I have these conversations with people who don't play basketball, who just casually watch the game, and who like don't understand this type of shit we're talking about. So they're just like, nah, like, you know, it's just an injury, and it's like, nah, dog. Like, there's a difference in this shit. And I think it's just years of just abuse to the body. That's what I would just basically bro, you've been playing since you was 8 years old.
Like, come on,
you know what I'm saying? And most of the time, these younger players, you've been doing all this shit since 8. Like, shit, I could probably still do certain moves and play at 36. But after a while, it hurts. But I'm not doing these crazy moves, so like my longevity is different. Versus like I feel like for example, like we've seen kids younger than us that we've grown up playing ball with, and they pop their Achilles. It's because of these fucking moves. It's literally because of these fucking moves, dog. Like, these moves are fucking crazy, dog. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all the above.
It's all about
I can't get with the load management piece. Like I used to think that way too. I was like, they resting too much, and then their body's like.
I didn't get onto the load management as much versus more practice. I know teams ain't practicing like they used to.
I can give it.
So that's where like, and the thing is, I feel like just listening to NBA players.
Because KG even said that.
That's what I'm saying. Listening to NBA players talking about it who are just around these facilities, I got to take their word for it because they were the yesteryears that practiced. So if they're saying these guys ain't practicing, that means you're not used to the same bumps and bruises and the same thing. So on top of the fact that you're not practicing as much, on top of the fact that you have these herky-jerky moves, and you can blame the shoes. I'm not going to blame the shoes as much. Because motherfuckers playing in Chuck Taylors and shit.
And also, these NBA players have shoes customized to them.
To make certain things fit to like their foot. So I'll ignore the shoe factor as much, and goes back to like motherfuckers who played in Chuck Taylors and had a 15-year career. So like, it ain't the shoes versus the moves. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's the shoes.
And the change of style of play.
Right. You know, the evolution of the game is, I think, the cause of why these injuries. Because once again, you don't even see too many people tearing the ACL anymore. They're popping their fucking.
The ACL is the new ankle.
That's what I'm saying. That's the new ankle. You back in the gear.
Yeah, the Achilles.
You know what I'm saying? The Achilles is the ACL now. Possible career ender shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the game has changed in that regard. But you know, going back to the Celtics, dog, like, you know, with Tatum's injury being such a factor, and the future of the Celtics being kind of uncertain, I guess, which is weird because, from my standpoint, I don't see why, and this goes for all media across the board, and I get the finance part and everything else, but if you're trying to win, the finances shouldn't matter, right? But at the same time, all right, if the finances do matter, why do you talk about moving your main piece? Like, I didn't hear about when the Warriors are going through their thing. I didn't hear about the trading the Splash Bros. So I don't see why you would consider trading the Jays.
There was talk about Clay and Draymond.
Not every year.
Not every year.
Towards the end.
Towards the end.
Towards the end
when like
you said
when they got 4 chips.
On the way up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When they got 4 chips, like when Clay was 26, 27, 28.
Yeah, not on the way up.
You wasn't hearing about, they got a down year, or not even down year. Something
real
funny
talk,
happened.
They were actually saying like, we'll eat the tax. We'll eat.
And that's another thing. They even said they eat the tax. So when you're trying to win and compete, I think you eat these taxes, especially when you know you're a contending team, especially when you can build for your core that's been there 7 years in a row.
But the tough part right now is I know we're having a free flowing conversation. It's like they didn't factor in a ruptured Achilles now. Like that.
Yeah, nobody does.
I know what I'm saying. That changes up all future planning because you don't know how he's going to come back from that.
1,000%.
I hope the best for him because I know he has a great team around him. So again, I think he's going to be okay.
It's all about how your body takes everything, though. It's all about your rehab process.
Not to put anyone on the spot. Have we seen anyone come back from ruptured Achilles and be the same?
Yeah, KD.
Yeah,
literally KD.
Yeah, the calf.
Kobe. You know what I'm saying? And Kobe. And when we say Kobe, he was older, but he still came back, still doing Kobe things.
Yeah.
So with that being said, and I'm glad you went to that. So the effect of Tatum's injury, I think people are overplaying it just a tad because we've seen too many instances now where players have came back.
And it's different. It's like,
the sports medicine's different. He's 26, 27, 28 years old.
True.
He's still young. This is not his jumping leg. This is not his jumping leg.
We're in depth.
You know what I'm saying? He's not his jumping leg. It's a right Achilles. You know what I'm saying? My man's game isn't prevalent off his
he was
athleticism.
tapping into that though.
He was, but here's the thing: when you get into that older bag, though, you leave that alone anyway.
He wasn't that old.
Yes, he wasn't, but now he's old now.
But
you know what I'm saying? That now the Achilles is old because you ain't got one. So now he has to go back into that slicker game because I think his jumper's gonna be smooth.
I know I'm just bad right now. They donated knees. Like someone donated balls of balls. So this is not how the knee got donated is not funny. Like it was somebody that passed away and they donated the kneecap. But what's funny is people are donating like
you can be an organ body donor and shit like that. Yeah.
So it's like so he may be able to get that prime Achilles back.
All right, sure. If that's possible, whatever. You know what I mean? But even if not, right? Even if not, my man's is still young. Yeah. It's not his jumping leg. His game is primarily finesse and jump shooting. Yeah. So, yes, it's going to take him 2 years to come back, but I think we're all panicking about the status of his injury. Now, once again, it could go one of two ways.
Yeah.
It can go KD, and he'd be fine and still be a great scorer. Or it can go Derrick Rose, and he's now injury bound, which God forbid that happens.
No, I wouldn't say all that because he's been pretty healthy up until.
I mean, Derrick Rose was pretty healthy up until. He always was having knicknacks. He was having a lot of knickknacks up until then. So that's another thing. Like once again, he's been, and that's another plus. He's been an Iron Man this entire time.
Yeah, it
was a freak ass little accident where he took a.
He just a quick step.
Yeah, and it just did what it did, which goes back to like what everybody says and what you said is like. It's the mileage. It's the amount of basketball being played, which factors into the herky jerkies. I will say too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So all that combined with just stress and everything else, it's bound to happen. So hopefully he comes back.
But it's just my thing.
85% of what he is.
Yeah, the makeup of the team. Like, Porzingis got to go. I'll be out there and say it.
I mean, I've been screaming to trade for Sabonis for a while, and as much as I've been an advocate for
Porzingis, are they giving up Sabonis?
I mean, I know Sabonis wants to go, and that's just once again, I'm just thinking of the next 7 foot, the next big man.
So anyways, Porzingis got to go.
But Porzingis got to go, and I think you got to come up off a Holiday.
You know unfortunately, I rock with you, so I don't want to do that. But the
I don't want to do neither. But you have to make the team better.
Porzingis got to go.
Well, yeah, we got 2 years of I call Porzingis, dog. There's always something Porzingis.
Yeah,
and it's not even a knock against because when he's out there, he performs.
Exactly.
It's just that there's always something.
I'm just waiting for him to be out there.
There's always something. I'm waiting. I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's messing up things.
Yeah.
That, like, for example, if he was remotely available during this series at any point in time, we're winning this series.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And see what happens. Until we meet the Timberwolves, who I got winning it. That's another conversation.
But that's a whole other conversation in itself. But I will definitely say do that. But for what and how that's gonna go, excuse me, I'm not too much into the front offices like that, so I don't know what their idea of what their makeup is for the team moving forward. Because I've always said this for a while. It's like we just got to get tougher on the inside. We need guys we need dogs on the inside. You know what I mean? Because That's what kills us every year is that inside presence, and we got it with Porzingis when he wasn't fucking there.
Yeah.
And we had it there with Keita, who just wasn't in rotation, and we had it there with Luke Walton. Luke Walton for Cornette.
So I'll throw out another scenario. I'll say this: do we tank for AJ?
I'm not here for any tanking talks.
Do we try our best, but if we don't do our best, go get AJ?
I guess. Because here's my thing, right? There's two things that I saw from last night's game. And I told a lot of people this. I'm like, this team that we have constructed is a great team where if something like this was to happen, we're deep enough where we can sustain a series. But on the flip, we saw what could happen on the long side if teams really game plan for us. And is that something that's sustainable for 82 games to get us into the playoffs? This roster currently. And obviously the roster is going to be shaken up a little bit. But I was also on the mindset, because remember, before the Achilles injury, there was speculation of moving the entire roster. But then after, there was rumblings of like, they might as well stand pat and not move at all.
But, so here's what I think. I'm not trying to seem flip-floppy. Like, healthy, I don't think anybody's beating us. 100%.
Well, that's a given.
Healthy,
you know,
I don't
but
think
nobody was healthy.
So
Yeah, no,
it's
like,
and I'm not. And that's not. Yeah. I'm not even gonna try and use that as an excuse. So healthy, I don't think anyone's beating. So I don't want to seem like you all are switching up on them now where everyone was talking crazy. I still think healthy, nobody's beating us. But like you said, we're not currently not healthy. So with us looking at the landscape of this team, you gotta preserve it. And I'm saying this. Only trade Porzingis if you're getting something worthwhile back.
That's what I'm saying.
Keep him. Only trade Drew Holiday if you get, because we got already built-in chemistry.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can go get, if you guys don't trust Keita, if you guys feel Cornette just ain't it, you can go
get.
Keita's
a free agent, by the way, too.
Okay. So, as I said, you can go get somebody to fill that role, because there's a Mitchell Robinson in every draft. And no disrespect to Mitchell Robinson. There's a Mitchell Robinson in every draft. You can go get a dude like that off free agency or whatever.
But you know what's funny is that it's not even like you need a dude like a Mitchell Robinson. You need to cut the fat of dudes like a Hauser, and I hate to say like a Pritchard. Like you need to beef up. You need to beef up, because a Hauser is a one-trick pony. I hate to say it. Like
that's why they got Baylor though.
That's what I'm saying. But what's Baylor's game going to develop into? Because I like what I've seen, but I want to know what's going to come out of that. I think
Baylor can be a combo of Pritchard and Hauser if you put them together.
If you put them together, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But we don't know what that's going to develop into year two. We don't know how that's going to be when how do I put it? When you're on the scouting report. Because when you're on the scouting report versus like, we don't know what he's going to do when you're just out there hooping. It's two different things. So like for me, I feel like you get rid of a guy like a Hauser. So I guess this conversation right now is more like you get rid of a guy like Hauser and maybe PP just for size wise. Like it's not because PP can't perform, but if we want to beef up because we get beat up in the bench situations where we don't have the size, you get a guy who's more versatile off the bench who can shoot and play D and get to the cup. Because Hauser can't get to the cup.
But see, here's my thing too.
And you can easily guard that.
And again, these are all questions that I know we can't answer on here and people can't. Like, we started off playing Jordan Walsh, and then we just stopped playing Jordan Walsh. Like, we stopped just, like, focusing on his development.
Yeah, I didn't understand that too, especially when you brought him up from the main clause.
Yeah, and he's that player that he again, as far as I know, he's a hustle dude. He was starting to hit his three.
Yep.
He was having
a slump at first.
Yeah, but he started to hit his three. He's that hustle player. So, I'm just saying this, like, why are we developing those type of dudes? And I do get what you're saying. Like, again, pressure does pose a disadvantage, but we also still have hit people like him, Walsh, and Keita at the time. Again, he's a free agent now, but that we could build up to be these guys that we feel like we're missing. So that is beyond you or I. Like that's front office stuff that got nothing to do with us. But it's just like you all have to make a decision. Like a decision definitely has to be made on that front. Like either keep building in house, and again, I'll be real, building in house regardless, and a team of just Jalen and Porzingis and everybody got. It's just like, okay, what does the next year of y'all look like? Is it the same?
We're going to be a play-in team, I think, next year.
And then that's why.
Because you can game plan for this team a lot easier.
Yeah.
And once again, and it goes back to kind of as well how we played without Tatum, like when we won the game. We looked real good as far as the ball moved.
We focus a lot more on the mid-ranger games, and IQ looked different. And this is no knock against with Tatum, but what stood out for me the most, and the plays were fucking identical too, which was like the first play, which was in game 2, where I think it was 79-86, and Tatum was in the corner, and Al was at the basket, and then Brunson fell. IQ says pass the ball, cut the momentum, get the easy 2, but their style says take the 3. Live or die with it, which I'm like, that's not basketball at that point, which I also say the Celtics shot away from playing basketball a lot of times. They shot like they were down 20 versus playing basketball.
Then that's when
hold on, real quick. Now you good. And then going into the next game where we played without him, and that same exact play happened. I think it was either Jaylen Brown with the ball, and then we dumped it down to Al with the easy dunk, and then it kept the momentum. We won the game, and that's basketball because we're playing in live action shit versus like what the media would say robotic.
But that's what I'm saying, and then not to jump around, that's where I go to like, that's why I started off talking about the influence of Joe, the inexperience of Joe. Like why is that your system to live and die like that? Adjust. You can go back to that.
You started off the year with the Orca offense, and here's my thing where I hate when people kind of flip on Joe. Yes, but you can't flip on something that won you a chip last year, right?
Do you really want me to go?
No, we can go there, but we're not going to go there because I know where you're going to go with that. I know exactly where you're going with that because, there was Riddle team.
He wasn't challenged as a coach last year.
Questionable. It was because the team was on a heater last year.
Who challenged? But again,
the team was on a heater, so it's hard to get challenged when the team was on a heater.
How you're not challenged?
But here's my thing: it's like that one you won last year that's gotten you to finals and conference finals appearances every time. So we can't get mad when it doesn't work and we lose, but we love it when we win.
I don't think.
And that's where I think. No, because listen, I think people love it. When we're winning, everybody's like, I love it.
Boom, boom,
but when it goes bad, you hate it. So it's like you can't pussyfoot around with the way it goes. Like you gotta like it or hate it. You gotta be all the way in on it, or you gotta be all the way out.
But you just said it. Like I think people that know ball hate it because it's not ball.
It's not ball when so here's the thing. The Warriors already made this a thing. So I've accepted that this is a copycat league.
The Rockets doubled down on it.
Right, and this is a copycat league. So this is the blueprint for the NBA. And you have to remember, this is just more exciting basketball for the casuals. So I factor all that in, and I'm just like, hey, do what you got to do. But when it comes down to when you're up, because that's my problem. They get up every time. They're talented enough to play that offense. The problem is when they're up 20, they start shooting the ball and playing offense like they're down 20, and that's the problem.
But
it's not the offensive style itself.
That's the coach.
See, but that's where we're not in the timeouts. We're not in these timeouts here. And that's what Joe says. And we both play ball, and we both understand that the coach can scream and yell and preach whatever he wants. But the minute you get out there,
it happened 2 games in a row.
It happens 2 games in a row, but that's the script. And once again, this is Tibbs. This is a
good coach, but that's a real not a
defensive coach.
He's a good coach.
You know what I mean? This is a hard-nosed guy who he knows how to game plan defensively.
Yeah, and
that's where we lack, and this is where I think people miss Ime because we focus a lot more on the defensive end.
The way the Rockets played this past playoffs is how we would have been playing.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Hold on, let me check the chat real quick. Yeah. Bad Wolf, what's going on? Appreciate you popping in. Let me know how we sounded, because I know you mentioned that you had to have things all the way up or we was too far from the mic. So let me know how things are sounding. Lori, appreciate you popping in. OT still in here, man. We're going to get to the music in a minute. We just rolling down the line. As you see, this is, as the title says, this is the BITO'S Couch Potato Podcast. You know what I'm saying? Reactions live from the couch. So we get into all of that, but we podding right now at first, and I'm hoping that this is entertaining for y'all as y'all are in here, you know what I'm saying? But we gonna keep it going. Let me know if y'all got any questions, if y'all got any requests out there, because I'm paying attention to that as well too. But we right back to the sports thing. We got a whole agenda today. We got an agenda. But right back to that. So where were we?
You was talking about how I don't really want we can the whole Ime thing and how Ime would have would have looked under.
They would have looked dominant more on the defensive end, which once again, that's where I think it boils down to defensively.
we lack focus there. You know what I mean? Because once again, we focused so much on the orca offense that we didn't care about, prison defense is what I like to say.
And that used to be our
that was our identity.
Like, and then I just feel like the effort just wasn't there anymore.
It wasn't
like
there because it was the off and on switch. It's that off and on switch that I think every championship team kind of develops after they win the championship the first year, and we developed that. We came out rocking the first before November, December-ish, and then November, December, January, we had those funny little games and funny records and that slippage, which for me, I was like, yeah, these are the quote unquote boring games, but if you're trying to repeat as champions, you would have to have this focus to all 82, and they didn't have that. And I think this is what bit us in the ass, is that we had that on and off switch didn't come about, and we couldn't recover from that, because once again, you can have your on and off switch against fucking the Hornets. You know what I'm saying? But you can't have your on and off switch on for contending teams, especially in the postseason. Right. And, I think the media played a large part in us losing this series. I'm not saying it like that, but because just like we listen to the media, the players listen to the media is what I mean by that. So the media giving us the overwhelming, favorites of it. I don't think we, as a team, historically, in the Jays era, we have never performed to the expectations of when we're the overwhelming favorites. And that's what I mean by the media versus when we're underdogs, we perform well.
No, I guess for me, if that was a factor, I can't buy that. And I'm probably one of the most understanding people out here. I can't.
You ain't jacking that? You ain't jacking that one?
Y'all turn the TV off. I can't get with that, because it's end of the day, do you want to win a championship or not? I don't care if people, we played in games where too many games where people thought we were supposed to win, and I ain't really listening to that. I want to win a championship regardless.
Right.
So it's I can't. That's why I can't get with that.
I mean, I feel you, because I don't get with it, but I think it just plays a factor, because now what seeps in is your ego and entitlement. Mm-hmm. And with that is for example, we go up 20, we start playing like they supposed to just give up on the game, where we're all old enough to remember that in today's NBA, 20 points is really a 5-point lead. You know what I'm saying? It's really, 20 points in today's NBA is a 5 to 10 point lead, because now you bang 2 threes, get a couple of twos and some stops, you right back in the game, and now it's a game again. Versus back in the day, 20 was a 20 piece, give up the sticks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So shit a little bit different right now, but yeah, I mean, Celtics I think need to do better.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, decisions are just front office decisions that are beyond us. At this point. Yeah,
I mean, everything is beyond us. Everything is just fandom and lore and just predictions and assumptions or whatever. Which, once again, great talking pieces like this for the podcast shits and people that want to be talking and stuff. It's well, here you go. This is what we can talk about. 100%. But I think the Celtics should, for the most part, stand packed. They should probably beef up the bench, if anything. I don't think you should, split the core, especially if you're trying to contend and compete. Now, if you're trying to go a different direction, all that stuff about moving the major pieces in the core, I guess, makes sense. But as far as if you're trying to stay in that, because you can make mistakes like the Heat. You can make mistakes like what's another team that kind of was in there and has been there, and then they made one false move off panicking, and then they fell off the rocker, the Nuggets even. You know what I'm saying? The Nuggets, by not bringing back certain things. And,
we'll see how this
you know what I'm saying?
Tonight.
Exactly. We'll see how it goes tonight, but that's a prime example of it.
No, but I do know what you mean.
They're not going to the promised land. Yeah, you make one move where that kind of rattles. For example, you don't touch the Jays.
Yeah.
You don't touch Derek White, and PP is up for discussion. You know what I mean? PP is kind of up for discussion, but I think you can come up off that. But I think people are focused on the friendly contract aspect of things.
Yeah.
Versus, I'm you can kind of upgrade the talent, because his value is not going to be any higher than it is right now.
Spurs losing Kawhi.
That's another thing. Spurs losing Kawhi. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just trying. I know this boy.
Toronto losing Kawhi, even by not just doing certain things.
But again, I know this was a part of the tangent, but Kawhi chose to leave Toronto.
Yes,
I'm trying to think of
you're right.
team
San Antonio
shipping
was
somebody out,
and then
it's nah, we'll be fine without you.
I mean, shit. And even the Warriors, to be real, you think getting off of Clay was really the smartest thing? I think they could have figured something out with Clay. Because Clay looked relatively good all year.
He did, but who knows who's to say that didn't motivate him to get in better shape, and he was just coasting over there.
I mean, I think everybody has a down year when the whole team's having a down year. And it goes,
why are we missing the biggest Luka? the Mavs trade.
Yes.
Like,
Luka.
and not knowing how that's about to play out.
Or shit, honestly, the Bucks.
Get rid of Drew. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like there's these where I think we're in that funny little realm right now where we need to be very careful about what move we actually make, because to be honest with you, if you really get rid of Derek White and the Jays and you do anything with that, you're messing up your franchise for years to come. And it goes back to now you're doing this because you're worried about this Tatum Achilles injury and the
But you can't, and I don't even know if this is a comment. You can't trade either one of them. Like you can't. Like you can't trade.
As far as who?
Jason Tatum.
I think Brown you can trade now because of, remember he signed that deal a year and a half ago, 2 years ago now.
If you trade Jalen, there's so much that can come from that. If you trade Jalen,
but now you're
losing a community. Well, I don't know what that
means.
Right.
You're
losing a community figure. You're then saying we are tanking because Tatum ain't playing next year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and Porzingis ain't playing because I could call that right now. It's like,
right.
He'll play 30 games.
He'll play. I'm about to say he ain't playing 60 plus.
But you're relying on him to be around,
right?
Now, and
he's getting paid as a player to be around like that too.
Like,
so
and now you're saying that Derek White is the guy of your team, and I rock with Derek White, but that, like we just talked about, that's not
sustainable.
Yeah, it's not his makeup. So you're tanking for an agent at this point if you do that, which I'm not mad with. If you want to get again, with being I ain't gonna like it. I ain't gonna like it though. If you're saying that I want to trade Jalen to tank to get AJ, even though again he's not gonna. I don't know. He may not just jump into the league and be ready to go like Jalen is, but but you're saying that may be the future of our franchise.
And that's weird to say because you still have the face of your franchise now.
Yeah, but you like what the Lakers did. You went and got your future face to make up for the face now because at some point.
But that's a little different though because you already had an aging star and then you just went and got an established star. Versus now you have a star, but you don't know what your star is going to be like when he comes up out that chamber. So now it's a whole different, and you don't know what that potential star is going to really be like either. You're going off of potential.
But I was only giving a scenario if you trade Jalen, because if you trade Jalen, you're going to be one of the worst teams in the East. You can't trade Jalen.
You can't trade Jalen at this juncture. You can't trade Jalen unless you're just saying we're tanking. Yeah, exactly. Which I don't think. In the last couple of years, there's been no real standout talents where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm willing to throw it all away for that. Even Cooper Flag with what's going on there, I'm like, he's good, but with how teams are acting, I'm like, he's no Wemby, no. He's no Braun, no, he's no once every 20 year type of dude to me because that's really once again.
No, I think he's special, but he's not a generational talent.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you don't just go make these crazy moves when you're in the middle of your peak and shit too. You guys are peaking, and you guys have a down year in the middle of your peak because of an injury.
Let me be devil's advocate. Are we peaking? All right, we are.
I feel like you. I would say because think about it. We made the Jays. I can say the team, but we'll go off the Jays. The Jays made the finals under 28 before they lost.
All right.
Made it the next year deep. Got hurt. But we were projected to really make the finals that following year. Right. Then the next year we get there and get the chip.
Yeah.
Then this year, and that's within a 3-year, 4-year window. So we're in that window right now. We're in that 5-year pocket. But because they were young, we're still in that position because they're not even 30 yet. Once they hit the 30 mark is when, like you say, the window's closed.
But what we're seeing is they can't do it on their own. Not that I don't know.
No one ever could. It's just that you need the roster to be more in depth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You need the roster and the system to mesh. And the system worked until injuries happened.
I think Anthony Edwards is about to potentially show us somebody can do it on your own if you got it like that.
Yeah, but if you got it like that too, right? You about to see some shit where it's like, all right, well, the defending champs went down, and then you're gonna say, well, they went up against the Pacers instead of the Cavs, for example, because the Pacers are the weaker team, and that's because the Cavs had injuries. You're going to have that same conversation. So it's not even going to be more or less that because the conversation will always be like, well, what was the path?
Yeah. So
at least Anthony Edwards, no, not even Anthony Edwards' path has not been clean. He beat the Stephen-less Warriors. You know what I'm saying? They played one game with Steph.
They would have won.
No,
anyways,
maybe. You know what I'm saying? But Steph is a huge factor. You know what I'm saying? That changes everything.
True.
Then who they play first round? Well, that was their first round, right?
Yeah.
and then
no, my bad. They played the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm about to say, then they played the Lakers, which like anybody that knew ball knew the Lakers weren't doing shit in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That was just Luka and LeBron name things right there. They wasn't really doing nothing crazy in the playoffs. So did he really? He got the legend killer moniker thing going and shit, and I like it. Don't get me wrong, but
it's different, bro.
It's very different. But at the same time, it's like you got to also factor in that like he's got a solid ass fucking team too. The Devo boy, Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels. We got Jaden McDaniels. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got.
I like this new version of Randle.
Yes,
Jaden McDaniels is an up and coming guard or forward.
And Rudy's finally playing the spot that he's playing, which is being a big guy, blocking shit, being a paint presence. That's all.
You can find a Rudy Gobert in every draft.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. But he is playing his role. I just think that you're seeing an undeniable force like a LeBron carry a team.
Okay, you're saying that it factor.
Yeah,
it's that it factor.
Put any other up and coming star on that team. You're not doing this. Any of them. Pick. I don't care who you pick.
I mean, Hallie might be an arguable case because Hallie's been doing it right now. Hallie's been
he
closing games,
team.
closing series.
He got a better team.
Better team than Ant-Man?
Yes, as a, like top down, like
I don't know,
deeper
bro.
team.
Randall's better than Turner.
I'm just talking no deeper. Like not they got like that. I feel like they're more top heavy.
I don't know.
You got Halliburton. You got Nembhard who's playing tough. And
Yep.
like, I'm just throwing out.
And when Carlisle's not mad, he'll play. So like
Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam.
I forget about Pal every time.
Neesmith, who we gave up on too soon. That's another conversation for another time. Benedict Mathurin's hooping, but he's not getting into fights. It's like so.
Well, here's my thing. Like that, you just named I think 5 players. You named their 5.
And I'm probably missing. T.J. McConnell's holding them down.
That's Conley.
Yeah, you're right.
Like they cancel each other out. And I think the talent's superiorly better.
I just don't think the
Pacers.
talent of Halliburton is like.
Well, what Hallie's doing is special in his run, though.
True. I'm not trying to take nothing away from that.
That's special.
I just think that Anthony Edwards is the closest thing, it factor to LeBron that we've seen. We wanted it to be Zion, and Zion's diet wouldn't let it be Zion. But like it's Anthony Edwards is the closest thing to LeBron's impact on a team that we've ever seen, and that's why I think that's the thing that we're missing from our team.
Well, that's Tatum.
Sometimes
I think that's
it's
Tatum.
supposed to be.
I think that's Tatum because we have this system that revolves very much around team and talent. It's hard for Tatum. Well, it's not even hard for Tatum to display it because he does display it in his numbers.
Yeah,
he does display.
I'm not trying to take nothing away.
So I don't think it's anything in that regards. No. I just think that once again, Tatum has a lot more that he has to work with than Ant-Man does.
Yes.
In order for that it factor to become this thing that we're talking about.
And he's in a tougher conference. But
who, Ant-Man?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, the West is always tougher.
That's
always,
but he's
that's
doing
with
it. Like,
but what's he doing? He's just winning games. He's getting to the second round. Like,
winning games.
He went to the Western Conference the last 2 years.
And he's beat.
But other than that, what he's been doing?
I'm only coming at that
because he's beat LeBron. He's beat Steph.
Yeah.
He's beat KD.
Yeah.
He's the legend killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're falling for the tricks. You're falling for the okie doke.
I'm just saying he is doing it.
You're falling for he's beating all these Asian ass superstars. These Asian ass superstars. It's not like you're beating because he ain't beat Joker with that bullshit. He ain't beat Shea with that bullshit.
He may.
You know what I'm saying? So talk to me when he's beating the dudes that really matter. Don't talk to me when you beating these old ass niggas.
All right, and then you clip that because when he does it, I want to replay.
That's fine. But we not gonna talk about Ant-Man like he's doing this shit to like prime niggas. He ain't doing it to prime dudes, and that's what the league's about right now. It's like, yeah, he's getting the old niggas up out of here. Cool. It's cute. It's good for the resume.
Yeah,
but it don't mean shit though. And the resume of just like look who you beat. But in the grand scheme of it, I mean shit. Let's put it like this: Jordan lost to Bird every time in the playoffs, but nobody gives a fuck about that because he's 6-0 in the finals.
Yeah. All I'm trying to say is don't. All I'm trying to say is don't dismiss what he's done, and also not look at him like he's not the closest thing to LeBron. Like he can generally.
I think that's still a stretch.
He can generally take a team of dudes that Name me another up and coming rising star that you could put on this Timberwolves team and do what he's doing. He
Again,
out of the culture.
He ain't doing
they
shit
got
that
Randall
another player
playing
can't do.
ball. Like they got Randall out here looking like an all-star.
But Randall been hooping like that. It just be looking funny in New York. That's all he been hooping like
Randall
that.
ain't been doing.
He was doing that in New York.
Randall, he's playing like he playing for a contract. Like he's playing with some edge. Like Randall ain't no punk, but Randall ain't flying around like he's been flying around. Ain't getting whether leadership did that or not. I'm just saying that it's like, yo,
maybe it's Tibbs that was fucking it up.
Maybe. But I'm just saying you're looking at a dude that is playing with a revitalized Randall, Jaden McDaniels, who still isn't proven yet. He's up and coming too. Conley, who is I rock with Conley since Ohio State days, but
He's that vet leadership for
but
him
he's
right now.
old. Like,
and then you got Debo who just steps in and does his thing.
Yeah, like come on, like ain't no real deep team like that, but he's making it happen. And
nah, you forgetting about Nas here. You forgetting about Nas.
And then my bad, Nas, like Nas. But it's like he's doing
he's got a solid team.
He's out here wiping teams. Like it ain't like they going to 6-7. Like he's wiping.
But for example, like
and
the game they closed out, and that's a big factor.
Yeah,
the game they closed out, he didn't even play the best. It was Randall, my nigga. It was Randall like Conley, like, and he had like 8 turnovers, dog.
But he's still like carrying the team. You have yet to name
not that closeout game. I get what you're saying.
You have yet to name me
but
another
to give him this,
dude.
I said put Tatum on that team, they get a chip.
This year?
I don't know. Any year we talking about. I don't know. You throw Tatum on that motherfucker, it's the same thing. He gonna get to the same conference finals. Back to back.
Okay, I'll give you Tatum.
Luka, same thing. Luka take that same team and do the same thing. He did it with Dallas. He beat the same nigga we talking about with Dallas.
I'm not a Luka guy. I can't do it.
I'm a Luka guy, but I know Luka's game isn't chip worthy.
So that's what we talking about. You can't throw that man on a team and say you're gonna carry when I got Ant potentially winning.
But Ant ain't even been to a finals yet.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying
Luka been to one and been to a conference finals 3 times. So I gotta still put Luka over them.
He had Kyrie.
Not the first time.
When
they beat Booker and them. When he was looking at Booker like this in the meme and shit, and they beat them niggas by like 60. He went to the conference finals that year too, I think.
Oh yeah, must have been the actual finals. You know conference finals don't matter.
I mean, that's a big step though. It's a milestone.
No, I know.
Because we giving Ant all this credit for conference finals, so they clearly matter. You know what I'm saying? They clearly matter.
No credit. I was just saying that I give Luka credit for him and Kyrie going to the finals last year. I'm not giving him for beating the even though that was a great performance. But I'm just saying, don't doubt Ant's greatness. That's it.
I ain't doubting Ant's greatness at all, but I think we're overdoing Ant's greatness is how I look at it. I think we're kind of overdoing his greatness to the point where it's like, what has he really done? Because like the same praise that we're giving Ant-Man, I think we never didn't give this praise to Tatum while Tatum was doing all of this.
But that's a whole different conversation. Like people, I think the best comparison that some people said is like, he's our generation's Tim Duncan, even though I generally did not rock.
I don't rock with that comparison. You know why? Because they say that his game's not sexy and like, you know, his personality isn't star worthy and all this shit.
It's not the most like. Again, I don't think it's a 1-for-1 comparison with his personality and Tim Duncan because again, I don't rock.
I think he's got way more personality than Tim Duncan.
Yeah, it does. I'm not comparing.
My man be kissing the crowd, doing all this stuff. Like, no, he's that animated, so I don't get it.
To be the top player in your position, but everyone keeps treating you like you're not. That's the comparison, not anything else. I see that. Like that's where I was like, I feel that way. I agree with that. I think people doubt how great Tatum is. Like it's sad because like when he eventually calls it quits, and you really look at what he's done, then people are gonna truly appreciate him, like a Tim Duncan. Like that's with it, and that's not cool, you know. And so I agree that he should be talked about way more at higher levels and greater conversations than what's happening right now. Like even if his career ended right now with the Achilles joint, I don't wish that on him. Knock on wood. Like you look at his resume, it's crazy.
Oh, his resume is stupid.
It's crazy.
That's why I be like shocked on like all the hate. I'm like, this guy's resume is ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Like it's kind of ridiculous.
It's
whatever. Don't know basketball. It's cool.
That's how I look at it. Like whoever's going
like
off
the
and I'm
records that he's broke, franchise wise, NBA wise, is crazy. So yeah, I would never doubt Tatum's greatness ever. Like nope, not doing it.
All right. Well, I think to segue into that, because we're doing the comparisons right now, and I'm introducing something new, which is called A and W. It's called Answer and Why. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was trying to figure out this whole thing for the longest time, and I was like, how are we gonna do this? Because I'm like, it's gonna be Quick Time with Slime, but it's not Quick Time with Slime. So I'm like, all right, how are we gonna figure this out to make it not Quick Time with Slime, but I'm gonna be answering the same fucking questions as Quick Time with Slime. So A and W, which is Answer and Why.
I got it.
It's like, you know, since we're in the NBA sports topic and shit, I'm gonna start with that. But as we get into the music segue of things and stuff, because that's what we get into next, y'all. We get into the music shit. You know, I know what y'all be waiting. You know,
viewers like waiting for the music.
You know, I know y'all waiting for the music. Y'all know it's a music channel, but you know the podcast is coming with just conversations. That's what we do. We chopping this shit up. But and as far as NBA goes, right, we're gonna kind of go all over the map. So I'm gonna start with this, right? Answer and Why.
Yep.
KD.
Yep.
Or JT.
What is? I know I'm probably being mad and analytical about it. Who's the greater talent? Who has the greater?
So
career?
Who has the better career at this by 28? Who would you say has had the better career? Jason Tatum or Kevin Durant?
How do you feel about Kevin Durant's championships? I just want to get your opinion.
I mean, I've never jacked the idea of, and besides, this is really supposed to be you just answering this shit.
I
wasn't supposed to answer, but I'm answering it though. I've never been the let me go if I can't beat them, join them guy.
Okay.
And I've also never, but to go off of that, I've also never supported the whole I'm gonna go run up and click up with other stars wave like LeBron.
No, I just wanted to get context so people know your perspective. So, me, regardless of what you would have said, I got Tatum because his one championship and how he got it holds way more weight to me than homies joining up with some of the greatest players in basketball history and outside of Draymond and the greatest players in basketball history. And going to win 3 chips like that doesn't
two.
No, you got 3.
Nah, KD got 2. They were supposed to 3 people, but they only
see that even makes my case even more. You only got 2.
He got hurt though. Remember, he had the Tatum injury though. He had a Tatum injury when they were supposed to beat the Raptors.
Yeah. So on the sheet you got 2. I because one, like I said, franchise wise, if he would have stayed with Oklahoma City, I don't know if we would be having the same conversation, but he didn't. Mm-hmm. So I got Tatum's career, like the records that he broke franchise wise, the records that he broke NBA wise, in such a short span of time, and then not carrying because he didn't. Jalen and the team helped, but then getting a championship the way that he got a championship
organically, that's a factor.
And building his own game to be able to do that, which KD did too. You know, not that I'm giving.
I feel like KD built his game in OKC, but his game that was already built was just only shaped to fit what was already established. I can't.
Or
in Golden State.
Yeah, when in Golden State he started playing more defense and started like blocking.
Well, he had to fit the system.
Yeah. So that's the only. I give him credit for that. But JT changed up his whole game. Again, still was doing step backs, but like attacking the basket more, doing more of a little bit of everything, facilitating. He wasn't facilitating like he was on that championship run as any point in his career. Like getting the steals, getting the rebounds, like being Mr. Almost quadruple double man.
Word.
Like, you know, like, so yeah, I gotta give that to him. Like that's my opinion.
I mean, I don't disagree with that opinion at all. I mean, you know, both great small forwards, power forwards, whatever you want to say. I think they're just basketball players at this point in the NBA. But you know, both prolific scorers, both great careers at that point. But I think for me, it goes back to, I would like to say the same thing. Like JT got the chip in Boston, he didn't have to run anywhere. He got all that organically. Like, you know, what was built around him was built around him. He didn't run anywhere, and I'm always going to respect the chip when you get it at home base. Mm-hmm. And the resume, I think, just seems to be a lot better. I don't have the resumes exactly in front of me, but if I'm going off of just memory and player card shit, I think his resume is
Regular
the
season
same
and playoff.
And that's what I'm about to say. The same, if not better than KD's playoff resume right now. So I gotta put him in that. And I just like his game a little bit better too. Like as much as I like KD's game because it's smooth and silky as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that he's 7 foot doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
But with Tatum's game, it's something that's elevated about it because you can't stop him going to the lane as much, but he can also cook you from the outside.
He's a 3-level scorer,
yeah.
which KD is too. I
but
just feel like it's
because
more,
he can be more
it's
physical.
more methodical.
He can be physical
with
and
Tatum,
finesse. Yes.
Tatum. Again, I'm not tired to take KD. KD's one of the greatest players in NBA history too, but like Tatum will give you when he's actually playing smart. And he's doing that more.
We're going to talk about 79,
yeah,
86. You can continue to talk to them, Andy. I'm going to grab me a drink real quick.
No, you good. He's actually, he'll hit you with the tween three, and then when you overplay the tween three, he's by you for the spin pull up. And then when you overplay that, now the next level of it, he's going by you for the rip through dunk or the finesse finish. He needs to stop still complaining to the refs too much, but he's getting better at that.
Which he's gotten better at.
Yeah, he's getting better at it.
He's gotten better.
You know, but again, I just feel like he's more methodical with how he kills you, and then which you don't have to force him to do. He's going back on the defensive side, and he's playing better defense than people give him credit for. He's getting those passing lane steals. You know, he boards, which again, that may not be. Y'all know that's not flashy. But any star to me that really takes passion in doing the other things, I get you got more respect for me.
I respect that.
You got more respect for me. So yeah.
All right. So that's some of T's basketball knowledge and basketball input. There's still more. So another one I got for you, and this is just kind of you can just answer it how you want to answer it. There's no criteria for this one because sometimes I just want you to just base it off how you feel. Yep. So still NBA based right now because we're still in the sports realm of things. And I know this is a frequently asked question too, so I'm glad that I'm asking this. And this is a popular one: Dwayne Wade or James Harden?
Same thing, career.
Nope, this is not the same thing, but just answer. And then give you once again, it's answering why. So there's no there's no criteria on it. It's based off of you answering why.
D Wade
or James Harden?
D Wade for the one.
And it's basically like who you choosing, so it's always going to be who you choose, but answering why.
D Wade for the sole reason that any homie that can win a championship their rookie year, there's very few people that can.
It was like his second, third year though. It wasn't his rookie year.
He was a rookie.
Nah, it wasn't his rookie.
Bro, he was a rookie.
I can promise you,
He was a rookie.
It was Dwayne Wade's second or third year.
He was a rookie.
Second or third year. Because remember, he got drafted in 04. He won in 06, bro. That's why I can tell you right now he wasn't a rookie. I'm not even gonna look at the stats.
You
know,
I may be wrong.
You pulling a Gil right now. You know, you pull out your phone and shit.
Yeah, I just want to check it. I may be wrong.
Remember, he got drafted in 04. What year LeBron got drafted? 04, 03? Dwayne Wade won in 06. You already know he wasn't a rookie.
Yeah, in 06.
You know he wasn't a rookie.
In 06.
Dwayne Wade didn't get drafted in 06, brother.
What did he get? Anyways, he won a rookie. He won a championship
in his first like 2-3 years. Yeah.
When did he get drafted?
04.
You sure?
No, but 04, 03 though. Look, one of them years.
So now I'm just curious when he got drafted.
I think it's 03, 04. Yeah, one of them years.
Because him and Melo and them.
It's the Melo, Brian, Bosh draft class.
3 years.
So
anyone that can win a ring in their first 3 years in the league, still think. Because I can say, even though I messed up, Harden ain't sniffed
it. I fucked up.
Harden ain't sniffed the third round. Like, it's like let alone the third year of your career.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that D Wade did it on both sides. Harden's the better scorer. I'm never take that away from him. But in terms of impact, career, like, okay, and again, let me just break it down a bit. For him to win it that early in his career, one thing. For him to have consistent playoff success, another thing, because Harden's never had that. He's a choke.
Yep.
And I'll call it.
Game 6s, Game 5s, and Game 7s. You know he ain't showing up.
Game 0.
He knows
choke.
James ain't showing up.
Like, you know, and then another thing that's not on paper, but I gotta really get for him to allow somebody to come to his team and fall back like LeBron and fall back and say, yo, you know what, bro? For us to win,
And they had to have that conversation.
For us to win,
100%.
you got it. I've been here, but you take the keys. I'll just back up, let you do your thing. Like, that's a different type of player to me, a caliber of player. Like, James Harden would never. Homie had issues with a past his prime CP coming over and
He's had issues with a lot of shit.
Like,
bro.
you know what I mean? Like he had an issue. Like, well, actually, I don't know how many issues he had with it being there, but it's just like, nah, I can't get. You're never gonna be. You know, he's never gonna like. Same way you feel about Luka, same way I feel about James Harden. You're never gonna win a championship with that type of dude.
And Kobe knew it best. Kobe knew it before all of us.
In terms of
James Harden's play style.
Oh yeah.
He knew it before all of us.
No, like.
And I'm glad you kind of brought that part up too, because I want to ask you, and this has nothing to do with the A&W, but do you think James Harden? Well, I can't say this is James Harden should have stayed in OKC, but do you think OKC should have really kept that core together? Because I think the fall of all of their careers as far as championship chasing and everything else was solely off of paying Serge Ibaka more than James, and then bringing over Kevin Martin over James.
Well, no, remember they traded for even though they did bring in Kevin Martin
And choosing and starting Thabo Cephalosha.
No, they traded for Jeremy Lamb.
That's what it was.
And then he said he still be getting stuff for that when he walks on the street. Like, people were mad that we traded James Harden for you. Like, they be coming at him like that.
I feel like he was just on the podcast and said that shit, huh? That's funny. That's funny as shit.
So one thing I can say that, cause I be having that conversation with people all the time. We don't know if we would have got this version of James Harden if he didn't get traded.
You're right on that, but here's my thing.
Yeah.
It's not that if they would have kept that core together that you're getting MVP James Harden and all that. That's not the expectation.
Okay.
The expectation is that you have a big three together where he would have been more of like a D Wade to KD's.
So do you pay Ibaka more than him? No.
Absolutely not.
Even 3 times over, no. It's like you don't
But
pay.
also, am I starting Thabo Cephalosha over him? No. But that's what they were doing. Remember, James Harden was the 6th man of the year.
Well, bro, but here's the thing. Here's the conversation to be had, though. Like, we're watching this dude in real time, like, not be able to lead a team in
and he showed that in real time in the finals that year.
So
that's why they kind of traded him too. So he's always had that marker on him.
Let's have a real conversation.
You're right. I forgot.
Is this man just a really, 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 really good 6-man?
Or really? Nah, I wouldn't go too far to say that.
Is
he just a really good regular season player? Because he's proven to be a starter.
Okay.
We're not going to discredit him as a starter into MVPs for All NBA, putting up 35 a league. I mean, Mono did it his whole career.
Mono, Jamal Crawford, Lou Will.
But James Harden is in a whole different league than Mono, Lou Will, Jamal Crawford.
You can't rely on him.
It's not about relying. I think it's about having something built around him. And once again, he's a ball-dominant player. Where I think for me,
how much more do you need built? He had Kevin Durant and Kyrie.
They were hurt. They were all hurt.
How much
That's
more?
the only defense I got with that is they were all hurt.
Had
That's
one
it.
Of the most
they never really got to play together.
Men in the league
with Dwight Howard.
Outside of, should I preach and say shot? Like,
but Dwight Howard was on a whole different shit anyway. He couldn't make it.
No. I'm talking about Embiid. Like,
I mean,
like, come on.
Wasn't Doc, wait, but wasn't Doc coaching that team though?
How many?
But wasn't Doc coaching that team though?
You're supposed to be James Harden though.
But you also got the Doc Rivers factor.
But you say so
when you put 2 and 2 together, that's a bad recipe.
But no. What we're saying here is, like, regardless of the coach, you watch this man choke. Like, you watch this man just not shoot the ball. Like, that ain't on the coach. True. Like, so, like, is he just a really, really? So I say this, like, put him as a 6th man. Okay, put him as a 6th man on this Timberwolves team. There's no question they're winning. Put him as a 6th man on that Suns team.
So you're saying James Harden should have just been the ultimate 6th man?
Because just because you're the 6th man don't mean you can't finish the game. Jamal Crawford and Lou Will,
right?
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not being a 6th man.
So the GMs make a mistake and just pay and start James Harden his whole career,
relying him to be the franchise player, 1,000%. Especially after every game when you in the strip club.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to be the franchise player.
So James Harden should have been the ultimate 6th man. He should have just been the best 6th man ever.
Or again, if people feel 6 man is disrespectful, the
third
option, the best third option,
and that's
you
where I
don't
think
put
I
your
stand.
franchise on his back.
And that's where I think I stand. I think if you would have just if franchises would have built better around him, where you didn't look at him to be the number one.
But then here's the thing, though. Even when he's the third option, he still ain't showing up.
Yeah, because I mean, technically, Kawhi was the first option.
You know what I mean? He's still. That's what I'm saying.
Los Angeles.
So the reason why I say that 6 man role is because when you're a 6 man, you got the starters that hold it down. You just got to be the plus.
And what's crazy is like, OKC, he was a 6 man and still couldn't show up then.
Yeah, like okay, real times.
You might be right.
Not to go back into the Celtics conversation. Payton Pritchard, 6 man of the year. We ain't Pritch. If you give us something, appreciate you. Pritch had a bad game.
I'm not mad that if he had a bad
game.
Like,
we ain't mad. You know what I'm saying?
Like, so, he had a level last night, and I'm like, that was a highlight, but I wasn't mad, though. I'm like, he should have had more, but I'm not mad about it.
That's the role James Harden need to be in.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
That's your role. Like, that's that, like, because you've proven. I'm not speaking off our feelings. Like, you've proven you can't carry us.
Damn, so this is a moment right here, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody's ever said that James Harden should have been the ultimate 6 man his whole career, but I don't think anybody's ever asked that question
to me, that's not disrespectful. Like, yo, Jamal Crawford's one of my favorite players ever. I take him over starters who I've liked.
There's been a lot of legendary 6 men.
Jamal Crawford's my guy.
J.R. Smith.
Like, there was a point before he started doing all the craziness. I rock with Nuggets, JR. Like,
I like New York J.R. Smith too, minus the pulling socks and shit like that. But like, I fuck with Nuggets J.R. Smith too.
There was a point where he started to go left for me. I don't know where it was at. But anyways, Jamal Crawford was my guy. Lou Will, my guy. Ben Gordon. I don't know how you categorize him, but
because he did start too.
Yeah, for a little bit. But like, there was 6 men. I feel like you could put them up there with some of the greats. So being a 6 man ain't disrespectful to me. But,
Okay. Yeah. So I guess my final A and W to the sports segment of shit would be. And this is for the Bostonians out here, you know what I'm saying? This is for the Bostonians out here. It would be a start bench cut.
Okay.
We're going to make it fun here. Start bench cut. So would it be between Larry, Paul, and Tatum? What are we doing? And this is a tough one, too, because I know that bench is going to be hard. The bench is the toughest spot.
No, not really for me.
Oh, okay.
Start Tatum, bench Larry, cut Paul.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't even think that.
Ooh, that's tough.
How's that tough?
Because for me, it's all tough because I didn't grow up on Larry Legend, and I get a lot of shit on this channel for not having any Larry Legend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, I know he's like one of the greatest Celtic players ever. I know he's one of the top 5 small forwards of all time. I understand how great Larry is, but I didn't see Larry. You feel me? It's one of those. I didn't see Larry.
Yeah.
But because I have to do it by default, I'm putting Larry on the bench / starting. Like, that's where it makes it tough because Larry has the most chips out of everybody.
Yeah.
And he's got the most MVPs out of everybody. So actually, I'm going to start Larry. I'm going to be real. I'm going to start Larry.
But
I'm going to start Larry for the accolades. You know what I'm saying? The chipware.
But okay,
and the clutch factor.
But
and then hold on, because you got your 3. You got your 3, nigga. I gotta get mine. I gotta get my 3. And let me know in the comments below, like, who you starting and benching and cutting in this question as well too. But when it comes to Paul and Tatum, I might have to bench Paul and cut Tatum.
What's going on?
A lot. You know why?
Right.
Because I add clutch factor. Paul's more clutch than Tatum, bro.
What?
So Tatum's more clutch than Paul?
What?
Tatum's more clutch than Paul?
How's that? I think Tatum got the record for like most game winning. Like, again, I'm not even really trying to throw statistics in there. Like, I feel like he's more clutch than Paul Pierce. I got one question for you. All 3 of those people, what has Paul done on his own?
What you mean? He went to 2 Eastern Conference Finals
on his own?
Yes. Who did he have, bro? He was going to Eastern Conference Finals with Vitaly Batopical, Eric Williams, bro.
I give you credit for that, whoever that. Hopefully he's.
That's his name. That's his name. He was
go to conference finals with Tony BITO'S, Vitaly Potapicals, Tony Delks, you know what I'm saying? Like Yuri Welch's and shit. Come on, dog.
He's going to conference finals.
He went to 2 conference finals. I might be stretching with 2, but he went to 1. And I think the one he went to, though, was with Twan and shit.
That's why I think, you know, he had Antoine Walker, one of the best shooters in the league at the time.
Yeah, but outside of that, it was him, Twan, Tony Delk, Vitaly Potapical, fucking Milt Palacio, nigga, Walter McCarty. What is he supposed to do with that? That's no disrespect to those dudes.
Yeah.
But what is he supposed to do when he's going against Kenya Martin, Kerry Kittles, Lucius the Mask nigga, fan of the Mask dude, Jason Kidd, best point guard in the league, like Keith Van Horn at the time. Like, what is he supposed to do?
I do get what you're saying. I'm not trying to like.
He did a lot more with a lot less. Is what I would say. Paul was able to be that guy and still get, bro. Look at what I just named.
Because my
and
thing
he got that team, those rosters. He got to at least the second round.
Because my thing is, like, all right, and this goes back to our people doubting Tatum.
And Tatum came in, and this is not even a knock against Tatum. Tatum came into like a made man situation, and when I say that, he came into an established Jaylen Brown, Kyrie,
Jaylen
not established, but like he was a second year in, but he came in with a roster, is what I'm saying. He came in with a roster that had high expectations. He got early experience. So like when he came in, we weren't relying on Tatum to be what we look at now.
Yeah.
We relied on Paul to be what Paul was the entire time. Paul had to carry the Celtics through dark times the entire time. Okay, where Tatum, he walked into literally us coming out of an Eastern Conference Finals, trading away for Kyrie Irving, shaping a roster for Gordon Hayward, Al Horford. Remember the who's beating the Celtics team. That he came into that. You know what I'm saying? And once again, he wasn't even the third. He was like the third option on that roster. Paul ain't never been no third option, my nigga.
Was when the big 3 came.
What? Paul was the closer, first option. KG was the spark, the energy, the defensive anchor. But Paul was still the first option. When it came down to getting the money time buckets, yeah, you might make a play for Ray to get in the corner for 3. Remember, hence, make a play for Ray in the corner. But when you needed somebody to get to it, free throw, baseline, Paul all day.
Man,
Paul.
That dusty step back that he
Paul,
used to do.
the step back that players be doing now and shit, and tearing their Achilles off doing this shit. No, I'm playing, but
no.
Paul, I'm benching Paul, and I'm gonna have to cut Tatum. To be honest with you, and it's bold.
No, I know because,
but it's right.
He has the highest ceiling. He has the highest ceiling.
Tatum,
yes,
100%.
He has the highest ceiling. You can't cut Larry just because
Larry Legend, bro. He's done too much for the franchise. That's why I say I'm starting Larry.
Yeah, he's done too much.
I got to start Larry. Even with me not knowing about Larry, I just have to start Larry because when he got more chips, he's got 3 MVPs.
And the reason, so I can say for me, the reason I cut Paul and bench Tatum is because he has a higher ceiling. His resume is way crazier than Paul, regardless who's on his team. Like, to me, that's even more of a justification because he had all those talented people on his team and he still put up them numbers and stats like they weren't there. And I would say if you put Tatum in the same role that Paul was in, we can't, but like he would have went even crazier. Like Tatum has to like
Tatum has
he has to take a step back to allow everyone else to be good.
Yes.
Like if you put him on a team by himself, he would be going crazy.
But I will say if you had to give Tatum a team by himself, because you have to go back.
Yeah.
In this conversation, you kind of got to go back in time for Tatum.
Yeah.
Because Paul was given the keys when he came into the league.
Yeah.
Tatum was not.
Yeah.
Tatum was given the keys 4th year into the league. Maybe you would say 3rd year into the league, you would say. You know what I'm saying? Tatum was given the keys around there.
Yeah.
And once again, he had the trajectory of him to be that person and develop into that is different because he had the shield behind him, was what I would like to say. You had those better. You had the Kyrie. You had more focus behind him.
He had a better path to develop.
That's what I'm saying. Where who's to say if like it would have been the same if he would have just came into that, where Paul came into that and grew into being the star and the legend that he is that.
Yeah, and that's
why I'm just like you're basing it off of his 4 years in versus Paul came in.
And I can't, like I said, I can't say that how Tatum would have fared having to develop under that. I can't. I just know that I'm looking at this version of Tatum and I'm looking at the situation that Paul Pierce was in. And I know that if Tatum, this version of Tatum, had a team to himself, he would be going crazy. I can't speak on if they both came in the league without a team and what. I can't. But I can look at how Paul Pierce was at his age and how Tatum is right at his age and throw that homie on the team by himself. Nah, Paul, I gotta cut Paul.
Shit, I'm giving it to Paul, man. You know I got Paul here and there, dog. I'm giving it to Paul, man.
I was like, he out here paying checks around here.
I'm giving it to Paul, baby. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, Paul, if you seeing this, man, holla at your boy, B. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man. Holla at your boy. I respect the legend. I respect the truth. And I respect JT, but I'm going to have to put JT off the cut. I got to cut JT, man. And here's the thing. JT's overall resume right now, where it stands, is better than Paul's.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not even gonna act like that's not the case, but I've watched Paul's whole career develop, and
you're about to watch Tatum's, hopefully.
Yes, yes, but I watched Paul's grind, where Tatum. This is a struggle moment. Tatum's moment to struggle right now is here.
He had two. Keep losing. The loss of the Warriors was the first, and this is the second.
But this is, I think, a lot more major than anything because now it's like you have to come back you have to overcome a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So I think this is like the part 2 of his career where it's like, will he build what we already see as a Hall of Fame career now? Will he build a second resume? Because right now, this is he's taking a break, so now he's starting.
Because not for nothing,
I mean,
the league that he's going to come back to is going to be totally
way different. We don't know what the fuck the league's going to look back like. Wemby might be running this motherfucker when he come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows what the hell's going to be going on?
Wemby, Cooper Flag,
you know what I'm saying? Wemby and Giannis might be together and shit. Like you don't know what's going to go on with that.
And the year more mature. You know, who knows what's about to happen with the Suns?
The Suns is toast.
You know, Paulo. You know,
Paulo might become that dude because I like what I seen from Paulo in the first round. Not
I go back to the Anthony. Outside of Ant, Paulo is the only homie that I think you could put in the Ant situation and he could be doing this.
I can agree with that. Because I like what I seen. I like what I seen Paulo doing in the playoffs with virtually nothing and giving us a struggle. You know, and when I say a struggle, we beat them in 5, but it just looked different. Like he looks like you give him those right pieces, they're a force to be reckoned with.
And one thing that's happening right now with Ant, even though Ant's a better shooter, is Ant, because he knows he's getting good at his shot, isn't driving as much. Whereas that Paulo is all drive. All I'm a straight dunk.
All drive and maybe
I'm gonna wear you down. Yeah, I'm gonna wear you down.
But he don't got that yet.
Nah.
But he showed a couple of things.
Yeah, he's gonna develop.
I'm like, he's got a 3-point shot like that. When he developed that,
it's a wrap.
It's scary. It's spooky. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely spooky. But yeah, I mean, shit, dog. I guess that's where we segue into the start bench cut with the Celtics. I'm pretty sure I'll have more because once again, I mean, you know, you've been a frequent flyer on the couch a few times, man. We did the reactions in the beginnings, which we're about to get into in a few minutes. But let's see, is there one more or anything out there that I was trying to get at sports related wise, man? I don't think so. I think for the most part, I think we covered the sports shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the future of the Celtics. You know what I mean? Who knows where that's going to be at? But that's questionable. But yeah, man. I mean. Yeah, that's what we got. That's what we got with that one. You know what I mean? That's the end of our sports segment of that, man. So if you like the video, if you're lurking and smirking, don't forget to like it. We're back to the chat though. Who came in new? KYM, what up, Stumps? What's happening? Damn, I didn't even know the connection got disconnected, OT. Lori, what's happening? Cindy, how we doing? Good to see you too. Y'all came just in time because we just wrapped up our podcast segment, you know, talking neighborhood spotlight, sports, basketball. Now we're just going to talk some hip-hop shit, you know what I'm saying? This is strictly talking hip-hop. Whoever's in here too, let me know how everything's sounding because, you know, I always got to do a sound check every now and then. Let me know if the sound sounds good. Let me know just how things sound for y'all on y'all end. Hold on, AFM, I'm about to get the PJ to Cali to handle the drum ish with Joey connection. Can be iffy on the plane, so if I miss y'all reactions to the songs, hope y'all enjoy. We got OT on the plane, flying out, enjoying the reactions on the couch. Shout out to OT, man. That's mad respect for that, man. But yeah. I don't know if y'all heard the music as well. We had Manders from Two Girls One Pod. We had her beats playing in the background. Two Girls One Pod sounds crazy, right? I was saying the same shit.
I was like, this man gonna just walk through that like that's a calm name.
Yep. Well, the name is crazy. The name is crazy, dog. But as you know, we keep it pushing with that, man. So shout out to them. Well, shout out to Manders specifically because she makes the beats and everything.
Oh, okay.
So that's a big shout out to her. And we are about to get into some reactions. So hopefully y'all come back in. I don't know what I got on store for reactions, but we are open. We are now open for requests. We are now open to talk music. This is now a music live stream. So now as you come in, we will be shooting the shit, talking some music. I don't know how much time you got.
No, I'm good.
But I got a few hours in me. I mean, I got to make a quick little flower run, you know what I'm saying, at around the corner before 10, I think. So other than that, I think I'm good.
Right.
Hold on, let me just check this out before it gets sold out. They're used to me taking a little intermission, so it's fine.
Oh, no, okay. I'm just making sure no emergencies happen.
They know BITO be walking away, taking 10-minute breaks, 15 minutes, because we've been doing it. We've been podding for like 2 hours.
No, that's why I was surprised. What time was it?
We've been going for 2 hours.
Conversation be happening like.
Listen, this is how it goes, man. What I'm trying to start, bro, is literally just like this type of dialogue all across the board. Like whether it's an artist that I'm talking music with, whether it's somebody who because I like fucking basketball and sports and shit. So what you're doing, I'm gonna talk about that. Hopefully I can talk to like Elijah and them about No Books, No Ball. You know what I'm saying? I seen my mans who just did so Millie's and them. It was like a Millie's and Friends concert that was at Fenway. That was
I
dope.
seen
and
that.
I seen my mans.
A lot of people felt away about that, but
really, that's interesting. I mean, we're in the music conversation, so I guess we'll have a conversation about that too. But my man's does the he was doing like videography and shit, and he was like all up in the mix for that. So like, it's funny because I'm like, well, that's a perfect way to start that conversation with him because I wanted to just kind of just learn different avenues of like what gets put into like shit behind the music because obviously there's a lot more that goes on behind the music outside of the rappers being in the stew and going to the concerts, doing live shows. Like you have your videographers, you have your social network team, you have your video girls and shit. Which like I'm big focused on the video girls too. I ain't gonna lie, but but that's what I've been trying to get into for certain. So
no, I'm with it.
And I think doing it live is kind of fun too, because like there's those random moments where I can like add a question in there or whatever, like which I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to see that, but I've never done it. So
people asking questions.
Yeah, because I never did.
No. Like that's the part that because I see it's active, so I was like that is cool. Yeah, again, I know as more time goes on, people are gonna start asking more questions. But I feel like that stuff. I always like that type of stuff.
Word.
The engagement.
And that's the thing. Like when I first started this shit, and it's funny that this is live and we're just doing this right now, but it's the intermission time. So like when I first started this shit, you know what I mean, I would just kind of set up everything and just record, upload, and just keep moving. But as soon as I did this, I'm like, I like this more because I can interact with the chat, see people, and like I bring this space for people to just have conversation too. Yeah. So they might not even really be talking about what motherfucker talking about right here, but they're actively, listening, waiting, putting things in the chat and everything else. So I fuck with that shit hard.
So now I'm trying to think about a random topic. I feel like we sporting people out.
Oh yeah, we into music now. They here. Everybody gonna be here for what they like now. So I mean, shit. I mean, to start because I mean, shit. You said you didn't. So actually, before we get into it, so. What up, Couch Gang, Hip Hop, Crime Music, Crime Mess. Welcome back to the Couch. It's your man BITO back with some reactions today. And you already know your boy is doing it live. And I'm back with my man T. We just sat and had a nice little 2-hour conversation about some music or not even really music, just sports and what my man does for the community and shit. And that was just, first episode of, what we would call BITO'S Couch Potato Hot Podcast, where we just have conversations. We just shed certain spotlight on what people do around around my area, around my city and everything, and that goes for music and sports. And T happens to work with the youth. So
again, you go. You good? No. I was gonna say, is the mission still going, or we want to transition? Cause I was gonna just.
I'm in my intro. We're going. We're live. We're back.
I was gonna just do some motivational words while we just do intermission, but. So music wise, what did you want to
So I mean, we was gonna get in some, we were gonna have conversations. We are gonna get in some reactions, as you know. Bito does react on the couch, listening to music, and be bopping and oohing and ahhing and haying and hoeing. But I would like to start this off with, as people would be slowly coming back in for the music side of shit. Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah.
A year later, where do you see, or how do you feel about how this battle turned out? Where do you see both artists going as far as music success? We're not gonna talk about all the other stuff because the narrative has now changed from what did they lose and all this other shit. It's bro, he lost the rap battle. We're not talking about
and pride.
Right, he lost the rap battle, a little bit of pride, and we're not talking about the success because an artist like Drake will always be successful. Yeah. This isn't 2001 anymore where you can Ja Rule somebody, but we're watching a little Ja Rule-ish happening with Drake. But the internet's saving him in a sense, and he still needs to come out with a bunch of projects. But do you think his songs, and when I say his, do you think Drake's songs have aged well a year later versus Kendrick's lyrics being where we are now?
So I think Drake came at it from a point of, he's lying. It's he's lying. He put hands on his girl. His son ain't really his son. Those were his three
main points.
His three main points.
Which which is funny because I feel like all of Drake's main points when it comes to battle, or not all, his only main point is always the female spouse factor. If you look at his angles, his talking points, it's always been female of some sort. He's always bringing up the wifeys or the exes or somebody that they've shared or something. Common, Sierra Williams, you know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. I see where you're coming from. I just feel like they're all weak. The things that he keeps leaning on, because domestic violence is a serious topic, but unless you can prove that it's going on, you're reaching to make him look bad.
I'm glad you're going here right now. And it's funny because I have a rebuttal to that.
Yeah, you're reaching to make him look bad. And again, I'm not saying I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? But yeah. Also, you're doubling down on it by saying that his kid ain't his kid. Pusha just exposed your kid. What are we talking about? It's and then is that even real? So you can't come at him saying tell the truth, but are you telling the truth? So I sum that all up, by kind of saying too, how this is played out for both of them right now is Drake. Nobody can look at you the same. You made it worse by suing him. You could have just let whatever he said kind of die down and rejuvenate yourself, but you no one can ever look at you the same way. You doing all the whiny, complaining, partying with random
with
people.
Aiden Ross and not support academics and shit.
Yeah, talking directly about people, but passively aggressively talk. All that's very corny, and real people know that's corny.
Yep.
But
I agree with that.
I'm not trying to be personal. I'm just talking about
from a consumer standpoint.
I remember how homies first met you, and that's where certain rappers are coming at it from the beginning. Bro, you are coming off like an actor, which is how you started, and that's why people don't generally rock with you.
So let me stop. Let me stop you right there because you're about to get into a whole other point.
Yeah.
But to your point of the lie factors, right? Yeah. I don't like that both parties or both fan bases pull lies and don't bring up the lies of the other. So going back to the DV and the child thing and everything else, right? They both were lying, and I hated this part of the battle because once again, I didn't understand where we needed to fact check these things. Because to your point about if he's saying all that and there's no proof, well, Kendrick's saying all that with no proof as well. There's logic behind it, but there's no proof. So both dudes have done things with no proof. You know what I'm saying? So I never really cared for the fact check of those things because once again, we're both from that era, dog, where you 36 in a karate class, you Taibo ho. We don't know if Jay-Z was really doing Taibo at 36. we still don't know that shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, the fact check certain bars in a rap battle, I always felt like was kind of whack. But it never was a thing though until this battle. So I love that that's where you went first, because I'm just like, that's never been a thing. You know what I mean? We've never cared about what that person was saying was true.
Yeah.
Hence, bring on the lies, or just bring me the bars. Make whatever you're saying sound believable to the point where I'm gonna fuck with it. And to your point, I think the Drake shit didn't work because it didn't connect, it didn't seem true, and Kendrick's lies were just more believable.
But here's the thing though, and again, I may be totally wrong in saying this, but you don't go parading around on Super Bowl stages confidently saying what you're saying, even though it's a hit. Even though it's a hit. You don't go on tour, selling out tour right now, like confidently saying something about somebody, if somewhere in there isn't some.
Well, here's the thing with that though, is like, that's a different conversation too, because with what you're saying, that's in regards to not Meet the Grams, which is just talking about PDF funny things, which there's documented things that attest to that.
But I think that's the thing that people are feeling most away about.
People were more away. Well, yes, but it was the daughter too. We're excluding the Meet the Grams, because once again, if you really go back and listen, Not Like Us, yes, it said the whole referred PDF stuff, whatever. But Meet the Grams, and I just actually re-reacted to all of that too, which is funny as shit. So when I listened to Meet the Grams again, that was the PDF file track. Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying? Like, Not Like Us, he says the lines that everybody remembers, but that wasn't even half as bad as Meet the Grams. Like, you go back and listen to Meet the Grams, you're like, oh, this is crazy.
Meet the Grams, he came at his pops for not being a good dad.
He's talking about PDF shit worse than, like, what do you say, like, your homeboys, because in that one, he's talking about his circle are PDF files. And that one, he's saying he was.
No.
But people tried to tie in what he said in that and saying he was saying that. And when I say he, Kendrick was saying that Drake was that in that song. When I'm like, nah, he just kind of said A minor and like, say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. But in Meet the Grams, his bars that were PDF heavy were in those. It wasn't Meet the Grams.
So, but that's kind of like what I was. It's like for you to double down on it.
What up, Crow?
This much? No. For you to double down on it this much. Like,
yes, there's got to be some truth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
There's got to be something.
So I'm not saying how much of it was true, but like it looks crazy. So and for you to be going on a sad tour everywhere you're going, it's affecting you in some type of way more than publicly. And this is me just putting my little psychological hat on. Like, it's like, like you really feeling your decisions, like, or whatever's happening right now.
You doubling down.
Yeah, because you look depressed. Like, so, and again, musically, people are going to have their whole opinions on Drake's song that he dropped after the fact. I'm not. It took me a little bit to really.
Which ones,
Yeah, like again, it took me a little bit to really start feeling it.
I call them the offers. Those were not hitting at all.
Yeah, No Kid. It took me a little bit to really like.
I like No Kid though. No bullshit.
Yeah, like took me a little bit to really like. I can listen to this in the car from time to time. But like, other than that, Kendrick won on so many more levels. Like okay, like I'll be real with you. Say, even if everything Drake said was true about his life, it clearly. You know what I mean? It didn't hit
as much as what Kendrick was doing on you because Kendrick outboxed you.
He's touring. He don't look affected, even though again I know everyone ain't showing their feelings off, but he don't look fazed by what you said about him.
He won. You know what I'm saying? And none of it stood the test of time. Yeah. None of it aged well.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, let's flip back. Okay, I'm going back to the Drake Meek. When Drake Meek brought up about homies pissing on Drake.
Oh, yeah.
And the Ghost Rider, yes. The Ghost Rider and homies pissing on Drake.
I mean, Kendrick did the same thing. How you let a homie piss on your legs, man?
But all I'm saying is, like, that stuff happened. We found out from Meek. Drake is still living with that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, even with Diddy smacking up Drake, that came up again.
So
all of Drake's stuff that Kendrick is battled about is documented.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is, like,
to that point, you're right.
Yeah, Meek brought up stuff that is still carrying with Drake. If he brought up stuff about Kendrick that held that much weight, it would still hold weight.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Like, it was like, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm getting.
Or it would have just came out somehow, some way.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
like, but when Meek said all the stuff that, people were coming out of everywhere saying that, I was there and I watched them do it.
Yeah.
I was there and I watched.
But here's the thing, it didn't affect Drake because Drake was a megastar compared to Meek Mill.
Exactly.
And I think the difference in this battle is what people don't understand as far as like the tiers or whatever you want to call it is that, Drake might be the biggest artist, but that doesn't mean he's the biggest rapper. You know what I'm saying? And it can still mean he's the biggest rapper, but Kendrick, as far as a rapper, is just as big as Kendrick. They're the same to me as far as rapper goes, and I would probably give Kendrick a slighter edge over Drake as far as a rapper goes, because a lot more people gravitate towards his music when it comes to rap versus like Drake's music, which he's rapping on, he's doing his shit, but it's for like it's for the shorties, it's for the hookah lounge. It's for you to wave your hands and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a different setting. But if you are a true person who likes lyrics, who likes a context and substance behind your music, which is what a lot of people have begged for Drake to do for years, is give us something with substance and something different. He has failed to do that. That's where I think people bang with Kendrick at. Which once again, I think going back to I'm winded right now, but going back to like the Kendrick and Drake battle, Meek and Drake battle, Kendrick's gonna be right there with him because he's on the same level, and Meek's not on the same playing field. So his shit wasn't as effective.
Here's what I'll say to play devil's advocate slightly, and I think I can say this. I'm just trying to make sure. When Drake and Meek were going at it, Meek's popularity was at a high. Like,
it got higher because he wasn't on the same status as Drake.
It got higher during it, but like right before it, he was
on the
booming.
Right.
Yeah, like he was booming.
And that was gonna make it better.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm just throwing that out there just for context for this next point. I don't think that Kendrick's popularity was booming as much as Meek's.
The beef definitely helped.
Yeah, so only reason I'm saying that to say
because it made me a fan.
Yeah, like more so than you probably already were of Kendrick.
I wasn't a fan at all.
Okay. See, then that's not. No, there you go.
I wasn't a fan at all.
Okay, so so I think that I rocked with Kendrick. Was I like partying to Kendrick? No, I liked his songs. So
he don't really got party music either.
Like so I'm saying. So I'm saying it's all to the point of like you could say that they were here, but they weren't. It's like Drake was way up here, like on all levels outside of actually being a lyrical rapper.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I also had to be like, yes, we know Drake as an artist is all the way up here because Drake has different avenues of music.
Yeah.
Where when it comes to like anybody who he's went with that was a rapper, they're just rappers. So your audience reach is different as Drake versus a Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? But that's not a fault to Kendrick because Kendrick doesn't fucking sing.
Because he has an audience.
Kendrick doesn't do
but what he did have is a strong core fan base,
which can help grow his popularity.
Which when you do drop that party hit finally, they're doubling, tripling down because it's like I already rock with you without you doing that. Now you're playing the music that actually can get me moving. Like like you clowning this homie for, but it's actually he out Drake. I've been saying it like he out Drake. Everything that Drake did to Meek, he just did it to him, and that's why Drake's feeling away because he outdid you in your own game. Like got people out here dancing to your downfall.
Exactly.
Like you're mad because you didn't do it first.
The same way that is at a world tour, your girls tour. And I'm pretty sure he thought "Shut Your Whole Ass Up and Make Some Drums, Nigga" was gonna be that moment for him, but that was his only moment because after that, that same way you compare the Meek shit, A minor is just like that. A minor is just as in comparison as is that a world tour, your girls tour. It's just like it's just you now. It's just you now. And then once again, you went through a battle, and this wasn't a battle where. Honestly, I think when he went at it with Meek, I feel like he was going to watch Meek because I felt like as much as people was like, nah, Meek is a street battle rapper, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, he just makes music that the streets can feel. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that he's a really good rapper as far as like the battle standpoint. Because I always feel like
there's levels to this. There's battle
There's
rapping with the
strategy to
pen.
it.
There's strategy, but there's artists that can just make music and good music and have a good voice behind it. But when it comes to that, you're looking sloppy. And I feel like Meek had the upper hand earlier, because I think people forgot this as well, is that Meek beat Cassidy in a rap battle, but that was also to show the change of how people consume music. Because he didn't really beat Cassidy on a lyrical standpoint, but because people didn't care about lyrics or rapping, the beats played harder, and like the popularity of, like, I don't know what it was at the time, but like, you know, the lines, your popular line had to stand out more. It had to be meme worthy. And if it wasn't meme worthy, you were cooked. And I think Meek Mill won in that battle because he was meme worthy. And that's kind of what happened with Meek and Drake. You know what I mean? And here we are again, meme worthy. Now, granted that the song was definitely way better, but he became meme worthy.
Yeah.
And once you become meme worthy, you get golden in today's era.
But and then like I said, so to go back to your question about the outcome, not only the thing that Meek did that Drake didn't do is when he got flamed, he fell back.
You talking about Drake?
No, Meek. When Drake flamed Meek.
Not really.
Yeah. Well,
that's why Meek's in the position that he's kind of been in now. There's been a downfall of Meek ever since then. The thing that helped the most was that the Champions album.
Yeah.
But like he also had to like get good graces with Drake again. Remember they hugged it out at the Summer Jam shit or whatever in the TV.
That's falling back though. That's falling back. That's me like falling back. That's me just like.
Yeah, but that's because Drake won, and Drake embraced you.
Yeah, you know, but that's what I'm saying. That's Meek. Meek didn't have to take that hand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but he was on Twitter going crazy still.
He's still going to be
that's
doing
that.
You know what I'm saying? But
his downfall was Twitter.
Huh?
That
too.
downfall was Twitter.
All I'm saying is like the route that Drake's taking right now with the L is making him look crazy. That's all. That's the point I was just trying to get.
What route is you saying that he's taking?
I could start off with the sword thing, but I was going to end with that. Like
that is a foregone conclusion. Yeah, that's whack. But but musically though.
No. I'm saying we don't know yet because he really hasn't dropped a hit. Okay, no.
Well, it's not a hit because once again we've been expecting it. He's dropped. So here's the thing.
But
he's dropped the 100 gigs. He dropped like 7 songs I think before that.
Yeah.
He dropped another like 4 after that.
Yeah.
So he gave us like an album essentially. Then he gave us, and those were all solo projects. Remember, those were all solos, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't get received as well. So Drake was not hitting the same after that. Then he gave us the Sexy Songs for You, which in my opinion, where this is how I look at it, right? In any sort of battle, when the battle's over or you determine a winner, you wait for the projects to come out. It's always been like that. Jay-Z, Nas. When that shit happened, we waited for, I think, Nas to drop and Jay to drop. Jay's album was better. That's what it was. Kendrick went through the battle, dropped GNX. Drake, on the other hand, does Sexy Songs for You, a collaboration album. He needs to drop a solo. He needs to give us a solo album project for things to get not washed away, because once again we're listening to that to see
that's
the comparison.
But that's what I'm getting at. Like, I feel like he's looking so corny in the
everything has been corny. Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We can talk music all you want. As an artist, like, that man is very gifted. I'm not that. I never would but there's a people factor that plays a huge part into this. So yes, he's always gonna have his fan base, just like how Meek is always gonna have his fan base.
100%.
But like the I don't even know what the word for it is. That shield of Drake. Like, the more corny you keep acting from this L, you just shattered that. Like, no one's really like going out the way to listen to that, like outside of your fan base that you created.
Yeah, we like Drake with the melodies. We don't like Drake when he acts up.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's doing way more damage on top of what Kendrick did. Meek didn't handle things that way. Like,
see, I felt like he did. I just think that we have short term memories, and like plus Meek isn't as like relevant. And this is like also 10 years ago.
I'm just saying,
Meek was doing the same shit. That's all I'm saying. I think Meek handled it.
He's been on Twitter a while.
I think he handled it just as much as where he don't even got it. Worse is where he doesn't even have a music career as much anymore. To be honest, if we're gonna be bold, the way he handled losing the Drake post battle, he literally lost out of a music career. I think.
Yeah,
and
but
then
I mean,
he got into it with that.
It was very
You know what I'm
fragile.
saying?
Yeah, it was very fragile even when that thing was happening.
Yes,
So,
but that didn't make it better.
No, you're right.
You know
but
what I'm
all
saying?
I'm just saying, so I'll just stick more to the point of like, I just think the way Drake is reacting to the L is doing way more damage. Not way more, equally as much damage to him as Kendrick did.
Okay.
And that's why it's looking very crazy for him right now. Like, yeah. And Kendrick's
So a year later, in conclusion, a year later, who would you say has won this battle and came up on top?
Oh,
right,
definitely
where we
Kendrick.
stand right now.
Definitely, 1,000%
1,000%
Kendrick.
Kendrick.
People can sit here and say it's because of Drake. Okay,
Whatever.
He's
capitalized off the moment.
Homie got a Super Bowl deal. Homies got, sold out stadium tours, not just tours. That shit
was fire too. That shit was fire.
Selling out stadiums, not just little concert halls. Like, so he's doing that, and he tapped into a different lane of his music that I may be able to say he probably wouldn't have if Drake didn't challenge him. The catchy.
He's definitely tapped into his more like California roots. I feel
yeah,
like
that and then just the party music. Like you said, you never had a party song. Now you got a party song. Like
I mean, shit. I ain't gonna lie. I still would have considered a lot of those songs party songs. I think just not like us is more like that bop. Yeah, that got everybody bopping around.
So that's more like that catchy.
Yeah, he's got a catchy
lack of
song.
Substance. Yes. If you want to look at it.
And what's funny is that I love to put air quotes on lack of substance because he gave you a whole verse of game.
That's why I did that.
At the end. Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, just to make sure.
They know who's listening to it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have substance because it was in the first two verses, but there was a lot of game in that last verse. I mean, it was game throughout the whole song, but once again, it's more like, it's all about that shit. So, like, that's where I think he just did that for the most part, but for throughout like GNX and just everything else, he's just
TV off, like
TV off was a good one.
He wouldn't have really. I don't know if this was
Squabble Up
playing like
Squabble Up. You would have got Squabble Up. You would have got TV off. But you wouldn't have got that LA sound though. Once again, it goes back to I think he just tapped into like his LA sound because I believe, and this could be a reach, but I believe that Kendrick has tapped into this because a lot of people come to inherit that. As far as artists that aren't from there, they try to inherit. Because once again, he said that like niggas don't like the West Coast. It's fine, but I'll put some line with it. Word. And it's like you can't imitate this violence or whatever he said on Euphoria. So it's like he does clearly see that there's a disrespect for the West Coast sound, but people like to come there and borrow it. And this isn't the first time that I've seen artists from the West Coast kind of like specify on that. Like I think there's a specific thing that I've seen from like my Beat DVD days where Snoop's like, yo, all y'all artists coming over here from the East Coast gonna borrow our lowriders and steal all our bitches and shit, but we're taking our shit back with interest, homie. Like, so it's a clear line of divide of like how people feel about the West Coast artistry and craft versus like, the Mecca and New York and all that shit like that. So I think that he's leaning into that more because going back to my point, Drake was over here stealing sounds. He's, imitating sounds and all that. So he's like, I'm going to just spin on this all the way down and make the actual hits that people can really feel and they're going to stand the test of time. Because, to be honest with you, I don't think Drake's music ages well. Drake will give you shit that sounds good in the moment. And that's not even saying because I'm biased off the battle. I've always felt that way.
I don't know.
I've genuinely always felt that way about Drake's music. Like, Drake makes shit for the moment. But the shit never ages well.
Yes and no.
And when I say it doesn't age well, like, I don't go back and spin a lot of Drake's records back.
No, but if it came on, you still
that's a different story.
To it, like if you've heard it for the first time.
But I don't go back and spin it. And replay value is very important for me as a consumer of music. I can't speak for everybody else, but as a consumer of music, being able to go back to your music on a random time if I'm driving is very important to me. And like with Drake, and especially the last like 6 Drake albums, I ain't gone back and spun back none of them joints. The last thing I can say I spin back more than anything is So Far Gone and maybe shit off of Views. And maybe the album where he was looking from the side with the blue clouds.
With those.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, a lot of Drake's songs don't stand the test of time. They're just for the moment. They're microwave songs.
I can't really get with that. I do get what you're saying. Like, he does do a lot of one-off microwave song with features and people on, like, tracks. Like okay, the songs we got with Little Baby that, like, those are microwave songs. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's a lot of artists these days anyway.
Yeah,
that's
those are like, you just went to go, like Kendrick said, you just went to get some clout real quick. You just, he got on your song, you got on theirs. and y'all just did this to capitalize on the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that we're like just going back and listening to. I was trying to think of the name of one of the songs off the top of my head, but I ain't gonna embarrass myself. So
it's like I ain't trying to go that far back.
I listen to it all the time. I just ain't trying to like recall it like that. But yeah, like outside of that, I do think his music does, it's definitely span the test of time. I can't say that. I just feel like he did way more damage to his career by handling it the way he handled it with the L.
Yeah, because he didn't take it.
No,
nigga didn't take it.
Just fall back and take it. Like,
just take your L, bro. Get back in the stool.
Yeah, and whether you want to work with Kendrick in the future or not, that's on you. But
I don't think anybody cares for that either.
No, I'm good. I don't.
We wanted to see what we saw.
I want to see J. Cole and Kendrick on the same song, and I'm glad that J. Cole fell back by the end of the conversation. Like,
word. That's a whole other conversation.
Facts. But
quick
yeah,
shit.
But that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. Well, that's a good segue into what we are talking about here. So it sounds like you leaning more Kendrick even a year later, and things haven't aged well for Drake, and I agree with you there. So
and it could get worse.
It ain't over.
No, it could
Remember,
get worse.
headshots for the year. All right.
It could get worse for him. Like
you better walk around like Dad's Punk. Remember? You know what I'm saying? Like,
he could get cornier, or Kendrick could drop something else to make it worse.
So before I conclude here, and I agree with you, he can look cornier because you're jaw ruling yourself without anybody stomping on you. So it's like you can continue because everything I've seen Drake do, I'm like, yeah, this thing kind of corny. So I'm with you on that. And then everything you do without Kendrick doing anything, but then when Kendrick drops or does something, it just stomps on whatever you're doing. So I think Kendrick's been stomping on you since Family Matters, and that's what's crazy. Ever since Family Matters, Kendrick's just sit your ass down, get out, don't get back up.
And the funny thing is, Jake would drop tracks like, yeah, I got him this time.
Yeah, and it's like, nah, nigga, you losing it right now. So I think with Kendrick doing all that, he could easily put himself in. He could easily bump himself out of the rap hip hop conversation where people are not going to really want to deal with him. So he's got to tread lightly, and he's got to drop a fucking project at the end of the day. Yeah. So with all that being said, that's the Drake Kendrick situation. That's where we're going to leave that one. Now we're going to get into something more recent, and it's definitely more New York versus Los Angeles or California, and this is a Rayvon Joey Badass thing. Now, how much do you know about, like, what's your timeline, if you're caught up to any tracks? Because this is how I'm going to lead into the reactions.
I heard there was a cypher.
Okay, so this is perfect.
I just,
we can pick up from the cypher.
I rock with Joey, heavy.
Okay.
But not like, I know every move he makes. It's more so like, oh, Joey did something, let me go listen to it. So I'm not hip. So
for me, same place as you, dog. Like, when I first got onto the Joey shit, I'm like, I know Unique, and that's from Power. You know what I'm saying?
I was trying not to bring that up because I feel like, that show just came up. That's disrespectful. Like, but anyway,
that's how I know him. You know what I'm saying? It's not to disrespect homie as an artist. It's just that's where I know you from. So when I see you shoot, because remember he came back a while back shooting at Kendrick with like the rulers back and shit, and then Rayvon came out with like Crash Out Heritage. So I'm giving you like a little timeline from like it wasn't just a cipher, it was that going into the cipher. So there was a few things. I think Rayvon did a freestyle after that. Then Daylight did some. So there's been a couple of months of build up, and this cipher was basically like Joey responded finally. I think Joey just kept shooting for Kendrick, which I'm like, bro, Joey, like you ain't doing enough to like really have Kendrick respond. Like I always say it like this. It's kind of like Jay-Z when Jim Jones was shooting at him. It's like you can't shoot at me when I'm like, nigga, I'm Jay-Z, nigga. Like who's Jim Jones? And that's no disrespect, but at that time, it's like you're just little old Jimmy. You didn't even have balling yet at the time. Yeah. So it's like I'm not gonna waste my time and just dish you. Like get your accolades up.
He's gonna get a
he gonna get a subby. Yeah. He gonna get a subby, but he's not gonna get a whole track. You know what I'm saying? So Joey went into that, and I'm like, you need to just focus on the Rayvon homie because Rayvon homie's coming at your neck. And if you want to get to know who you are, you got to do this. So he came out with a couple of tracks. I wasn't too. How do I say it? I wasn't too moved by the shit homie was doing before. But when my man dropped the cypher shit, my ears started to perk up a listen. So I didn't listen a little bit. I didn't already heard. What the fuck is this? This is different, Manders. Manders, I've been letting you rock for a minute, but I don't know what this one is. Skanking Vibes? I'm dead. See, it goes back to Two Girls One Pod thing. Skanking Vibes. That's what they're all on. But shout out Two Girls One Pod for that. That just I felt like I was in a circus with that beat. I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I was in a weird loop. But everything else was smooth. But perfect segue into getting into the Joey Badass cipher. So, chat, we're at the reaction portion. We're reacting, guys. We are reacting. So, this reaction right now, we're recapping Joey Badass versus Rayvon round 1. Now, I don't know if they dropped another track in the last couple of hours or not, but I did say Rayvon was on the clock after I heard the finals. But we're going to run T through the ringer here right now with Joey Badass, Big Sean, Absol, the Red Spiral freestyle. We got a live reaction going
Absol's on it?
Yeah, this shit's tough. This shit's tough. You know what I'm saying? I got put on Absol, kind of like rocking with Jid and shit like that. So I'm like, well, I bang with Absol too.
No, you got to go back.
Yeah, I got to dig into his catalog a little bit. So as you know, we learned about this music shit real quick. Let me know how to, whoever's in the chat, if you lurking and smirking, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let me know how we sound in here while we're in this chat. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how dudes is sounding. Are we sounding alright? Because if we not, let me know. Give me 2 couches if we sound good. Give me 1 couch if we sound like ass. But otherwise, I think we in good smooth sailing right here. So that's my chat to y'all. Now I can turn this desktop audio back up a little bit. Mic check all the way up. Desktop audio.
Criticize and scrutinize, it ain't shit to me. I'm
sounding solid. Alright, so we reacting now too, and I think I seen OT drop a song in here too. We'll get to that as well too. Shout out to the dono request as well too. I believe OT dropped a dono in the Cash App. Let me actually post that Cash App link at the top, because now we in reaction time, y'all. We in that time, so we ain't got no problem posting that part up for y'all, man. Give me 1 second. How y'all doing tonight, though? Everybody good? Y'all enjoyed whatever we was doing, which was podding and chatting and having a conversation on the couch, because we couch potatoes out this bitch. We are couch potatoes out this motherfucker. And I still got to timestamp the last live just to keep everything, you know, on point. But we are in request mode. We are in dono request mode. I repeat, we are in dono request mode. Like this is what we're doing. So what up, Crow? How we doing, Crow? I hope you still here. Appreciate you sliding through. We just did my first episode of BITO'S Couch Potato Podcast. It was a good one. My man T came through, showed some love. We put y'all on in some Inspire One focus. And I'm a little drunk now, so an effort. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, let me just leave him out there and see if we can figure it out.
See what you was about to pick.
What a motivational word.
Word. You gonna throw something out there. If it was an effort, it would have been something that you know? I would have threw an abbreviation out there and shit. You know what I mean? But yes, we are here to do it all today, man. Because like I said, it's all the conversations, but.
Hopefully get back to that at some point in time, but
facts, man, facts. Well, we are gonna take a brief intermission, people. You know what I'm saying? As you know, when I sit up and like y'all got 5 straight hours out of me today too, which is wild. Normally I'm up at hour 3 and I do something real quick, but y'all got hour 5. So I'm gonna take a brief intermission. I appreciate y'all in here. OT, I definitely appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate y'all.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna be back in like 20 minutes. I don't know if T's gonna be back.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be back.
But I'm gonna be back, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be back in about, 20 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever. So I gotta give a window because I know I gotta do, a couple of things. So there's a window of opportunity there. So y'all know how I leave the intermissions here. It'll just be, some elevator music, just a whole bunch of shit, you know what I mean? So give me 1 second here while
you be leaving on with some tunes. I thought you just
tunes, reactions, whatever.
Pausing the joint.
I be leaving with some things, man. Especially when I know I'm about to walk away for a second. You know what I mean?
But again, now real talk though. I hope y'all enjoyed this, and got something from it.
Word.
Pass some partner words.
And don't forget, go follow my man's page on Instagram, man.
Inspire1, Dark Culture.
It's all about culture, man. You know, inspiring, focusing,
And one, the word, not the number.
Yep, and elevating. You know, saying I know it's not elevated, it's effort, but that's the drinks talking right now. You know what I'm saying? The drinks make up other words that might not fill in for the actual shit, but.
And again, I ain't trying to sound preachy and all that, but real talk is that all folks that are watching, like OTK, I know you've been grinding too. Like yo, if y'all got a passion or purpose, just stick with that. And again, I'm still in the middle of figuring that out. So who am I? But it's like at the end of the day. No, real talk. Stick with that. I'll give not just because you're watching. Like OT, I know you've been probably doing this for a long time.
9 years.
You got a point. It's like, yo, this ain't working out. Like, why am I doing this? And then it finally clicked. Like, that's why you keep doing it. So, just stay more consistent than everybody else. I just leave y'all with that. And then you're gonna end up where you want to be one way or another. But that's the main thing people don't know how to do. That's homie to the right. It's just like or the left. Some people who are watching.
Don't say depends on how you're looking, right?
Used to be fuck that nigga, but now.
So that's it. Yeah.
So yeah, man. That's where we at with that, man. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. This is just an